Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for steady. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing back on the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the Boss. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday night. Boss, how are you feeling tonight? How you feeling? What's going on with you?
I feel fantastic. We just did a live stream because it was a national game, so that was super fun. Thanks for everyone for showing out. Just a blast. I went to the Nuggets game last night. That was a win and fun. This one felt even better. Just super cool to do on a on national TV to a team that has also been hot without their star. So really, really, really fun game and happy to pull out the win. So
for sure. GVA, shout out to you. He says, a wise man once sang, together all the time together. It's us against the world. It don't get no better. You know what it is, bro. Shout out to you, man. For sure. This was a good game to watch, boss. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, we see you guys in the chat, man. A lot of positivity, very much warranted after that game. So we're going to get to as many comments as we possibly can. So y'all know the drill. If we miss your comment, repost, caps lock, super chat, whatever you got to do to get our attention, go ahead and do that. Mm-hmm. And we will do the best that we can to get to your comment. Now, guys, before we get into this game, it's a couple of things we want to talk about. First, let's just talk about what happened in this game really quickly. If you didn't see the game, guys, tonight the Pistons won. They pick up their second straight dub, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road, 109-87 to improve to 54-20 on the regular season. Now, before we go any further, boss, some things we got to talk about here. Mm-hmm. So, guys, before we get into the details of this game, we just want to take a minute here to give you guys some flowers. We want to give you guys your flowers, man, because last month you guys helped us raise over $630 for our fundraiser for the Isaiah Stewart Learning Center. Mm-hmm. And yesterday, they created this thank you post for all of you guys. It says, thank you, Deuce and Boss, for supporting our mission. Your support helps us continue to provide meaningful resources for our youth. Thank you for your support. Isaiah Stewart Vision, AOC.org. So, guys, Stu reached out to Boss and I and wanted us to personally tell you all how much he, quote, appreciates the generosity and love that your community has provided. Thank you so much. And much love to you guys. And that, guys, is directly from Isaiah Stewart himself. Yes. So, guys, these funds will go towards providing more resources for the kids, who benefit from Stu's Learning Center. Guys, so shout out to you guys, man. You guys are really helping us make a difference here. And y'all know how we do, man. We always try to support those who support others. And that's what
Mhm.
Stu and his team have done. That's what
Mhm.
Ron and his family have done with their foundation. And you guys have answered the bell, answered the call. So we want to give you guys a lot of love and thank you for that. But look, we're not done. We are not done with the fundraising, guys. We're going to be doing more fundraisers for good causes in the very near future. And it is something that Boss and I are very passionate about, very excited about. We talk basketball, but we know there's more to life than just basketball. So we appreciate that. So stay tuned. We got some more coming. But once again, I said it already. I'm going to say it again. Thank you guys for your giving spirit. You guys are really helping us make an impact. So from the bottom, like I always say, from the bottom to you guys, thank you guys so much, man. That's huge. You got any thoughts on that, Boss?
Yeah, truly. Like, you summed it up perfectly. We are so grateful, so appreciative. Stu is so appreciative. You know, when we shouted you guys out, those who donated, he saw that list too. So it's coming from, you know, he sees how many of you guys really just just donated some money towards a really good cause. And, you know, if you didn't donate, you donate, you know, your time to us, which is just as important. So thank you so much. And it was just really cool to see what we were able to do in such a short time. We had the Ron Holland one earlier this year. We've raised over $1,100 for 2 separate foundations. And it's just really cool to see. So thank you so much. Detroit do send it up perfectly, but it was really like after, you know, we talked to Stu a little bit and seeing that shout out, it just really warmed my heart because we obviously could not have done it without any of you.
Yeah, at all. So you guys' generosity is what made this happen. So thanks so much, guys. We appreciate that. I'm looking forward and excited to see what you guys do next, man. Because you guys y'all are incredible, bro. Y'all really are. Okay, enough weepy, teary-eyed statements and stuff like that. Let's get back to this game, boss. So let's get to the injury report, man. Speaking of Stu, right? We got some good news. Some good news regarding Stu and his MCL strain. It was reported today. Shout out to Cody Davis. I saw his post first. He said that the Pistons have announced that Isaiah Stewart has been cleared to resume on-court basketball activities as part of his return to play process. Stewart has missed the last 7 games due to a left calf strain. So that is great news, guys. So we should be getting big dog. We should be getting our big dog back soon. It's nice to know that he's recovering well, you know, getting back into game shape and just taking his time more so than anything, because we are going to need that man for the playoffs. So good news on Stu for sure. Cade is still out, obviously, with his lung issue, but he also is progressing. He's doing some non-contact activity. He's back in the gym. The vibes are high. Those guys are happy to see him back with them. And I expect to hear some news on Cade, an update in the next week. And also, Duncan Robinson, guys, he returned from his 1-game absence with his hip issue, and he was active for this game. And finally, Caris LeVert also returned to action after missing last game with knee soreness. Boss, I think that's more so just managing his body and not playing back-to-backs. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I do. And we talked about it last game. I think a lot of these guys are, you know, it's a long season. It's towards the end. Their bodies are feeling it. Those that have been on and off, like Duncan and Caris, I think it is just a little bit more of, like you said, some management, make sure that they don't overextend themselves, especially when we have such a deep team with guys that can step up in those moments. So
right, 100%. Really quickly, I'm going to get to this. Classic says, can you shout out my son, Miles? Left alone. He always wants to hear y'all post-show. What up, though, Miles? Shout out to you, homie. You know, your father, Classic, has been rolling with us. We rock with him, so we appreciate that for sure, man. So shout out to you, Miles.
Yeah, let me know. I want to know who Miles' favorite. I don't know who Miles' favorite player is. Either right
and
now
then favorite Piston. Like, who's his favorite player in the league, and then who's his favorite Piston? Let us know, Classic, and we'll get back to you. On the Wolves side of the injury report, Anthony Edwards was ruled out for this one. So both star guards on both sides did not play in this game. Also, Jaden McDaniels was off for this game. And also, newly acquired Ayo Dosunmu, who has been balling for the Wolves. He was also off for this game as well. So both teams are battling the injury bug and trying to get right, you know, in time for the playoffs. So the Pistons, they went with their starting group of Daniss Jenkins, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. And guys, the poll is live for who you guys think should get the belt for this game. As always, a lot of candidates, but and it was hard for us to choose because there was a lot of, once again, we always say it's a great sign when it's hard to choose because it means that a lot of guys were finding ways to contribute and impact this game, right, boss? So that's always a good thing. But you guys let us know in the chat on the poll what you guys thought who should get the belt for this game. So before we get to initial thoughts, boss, let's just quickly get into our super chat from our guy Alan coming through. What up, though, Alan? Alan says, though the offense stumbled, the defense was masterclass. That is going to be the theme, at least for me. Boss is going to have her own thoughts, but for me, that's going to be the theme for me, was the defense in this game. So go ahead, Boss.
That's like that just goes into this one from Super Morty, man. The Wolves are good, not taking for granted our big win tonight. Like, yeah, they were out McDaniels and also Io. We were out Stu and Cade, but this is a team that the guys that are supposed to step up in those moments, like Randall, like Naz Reid, like Rudy Gobert, our defense held them down. That's why we won. So they are deep. They are just as deep as we are. They have more experience in their depth as well. So and they've been winning without Ant. So you can't, just like defense was the story. It wasn't injuries. There wasn't who was playing, who was not. It was definitely defense.
Facts. Heisenberg says 54 dubs. My preseason prediction was 54-55. Looks like we are going to surpass that. Guys, the last time we won 54 games was in 2004.
Yeah, we
for those of you who remember, that's when we won the championship. So maybe this is an omen, maybe not, but not that should be the expectation automatically, because it's still regular season. But for us to hit that feat with 8 games remaining is very impressive. It just shows we're definitely headed in the right direction for sure. So that's a great sign.
With 8 games remaining, we're now 10 games over our win total last year.
From last year, that's a great point.
That's crazy. And then before, just because I think this will be a question throughout, Obina says, what happens now with the pick swap, if you want to get to that?
Great question. So I am not sure exactly where we are or where they are in the standings after this loss. I know it's bunched up in the West, so they may have dropped. I think 6, 7, and 8 are really bunched up. So depending on where they are, I know coming into this game, they were in the ninth. They were ninth overall record. So with 30 teams in the league, that will put them at the 21st pick as of right now. The best we can get is 20, because it's 1 through 19 protected. So the best we can get is to 20. If it goes to 19, we lose it. It goes back to them. As of right now, the Pistons have the 3rd best record in the league, so they are at 28. So we could go, if it ended today, we go from 28 to 21. That's 7 picks up. So if we stayed at 21, if they improve and we go to 22 or even 23, that's still 5, 6, or 7 picks better than what we would have had we not had the swap. So in a draft that's supposed to be loaded, and if you're looking to use it as an asset, those 6 or 7 spots can be very useful. So it looks like we're going to keep that pick, because I think 10th and below, it's like they're comfortably above the 10th and 11th best record. So they shouldn't drop. Yeah. So they should stay where they are.
Yeah. And I think it's a good thing, because we talked about, the Pistons do like kind of sacrifice one of these matchups that help with that. But the way that the Wolves are playing, I still don't think that they're going to like necessarily end it on a losing streak. And Edwards is supposed to come back any day now. So it's beneficial that we beat them, and it's beneficial that they, have lost too. So it benefits both, because sometimes that can get a little bit tricky. We don't want them to beat us and move up and us lose the pick, but we also don't want them to fall too much and we get a higher thing. But either way,
at this point, I'd rather them win than lose, just to make sure we get the pick. But I feel you.
I think it's going to work out well.
Yeah, I think it will. So good question. Boss, without further ado, I'm going to swing it to you, because I want to hear what you thought. What were your initial thoughts in this game? Holla at your boy.
Yeah, so we held them. It was, we came out pretty strong, I would say, especially stronger than the Hawks game in the last game. We ended the first, I think, 33-24. So holding them to 24 points was huge. I feel like our defense did not waver. It was a very defensive game. The Pistons, or the Wolves, are a very defensive team too. And I came into this game there were some good matchups, Tobias and Randall is a pretty good matchup, but we had Ron and Bones is a good matchup. There were just a couple of people that I was just like, they match up well because they have similar styles of play. So that's what made it exciting and fun too. I knew that the Wolves weren't going to be easy. I feel like defense was what helped win this game, because we did have some turnovers, some sloppy offensive plays, some unforced things, but we still, I think we ended the game at 52% shooting percentage. Like, that's huge. So it was frustrating in parts just because of turnovers. Otherwise, it was a pretty fun, clean game. And I love a game of defense. We really just outplayed their style of play. And it was a team effort. We had 6 guys in double digits.
Wow.
And everybody that played substantial minutes recorded a rebound. Nearly everybody recorded an assist. Nearly everybody scored points. So like just a team effort and 20 stocks. That's awesome.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's I was going to get to that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Let's get to some quick comments. Scooby Snack says, "Enjoy it, guys. Seasons like this are lucky to come around, even just once in a lifetime." Yeah, that's what we always say. Like, just smell the roses. We're going to be critical. We're going to, there's ways for this team to improve, but let's just smell the roses, man. Like, for us to have a historical season, winning 30 games more than we had back in 1468 season at 44, we still are up 10 more than last year, despite the 30-win jump from the year before, and we still got 8 games to go. So this type of trajectory doesn't happen all the time, and we're nowhere near complete either. That's the scary part. So let's just enjoy, because we could be going the other way, like the New York Knicks. We could be going the other way. So let's just enjoy our trajectory and just kind of smell the roses and enjoy it. MB Well says, "What's the magic number?" I think it's 4.5 or 4. I think it was 5 after last win. So we're either at 4.5 or 4 at this point. So I'll double check on that later, MB Well, and we'll let you know for sure next show if nobody's able to in here.
Yes.
So let's just go to some quick numbers, boss, that I like to go to every game to see if we're playing the way that the Pistons are playing, the style they want to play. So points in the paint, 60 to 32, boss. 60 to 32 points in the paint. That is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. Fast break points, 21 to 12, which is good. Rebounding, 52 to 38, boss.
Ooh.
Assists, 28 to 18.
Wow.
Stocks, like you mentioned, 20 to 12. This is interesting. Free throws, 76% to 73%. But here's what's crazy. The Pistons only shot 17 free throws. The Wolves shot double that, nearly 33. But yet it didn't matter because of the other areas. And lastly, the turnovers, 20 to 15. The turnovers were kind of a Achilles heel in this game, where that was one of the areas they really could have improved on. But once again, we're going to talk about why we think that was. It's two good teams. Sometimes it's not always going to be pretty. So, and that was kind of my thing, is that, believe it or not, boss, I enjoyed this game before we pulled away, when it was a struggle earlier. I know you guys may not agree with that, but the good and the bad of this game, I really enjoyed, because it was a tough smash mouth street fight. It was two physical teams who play good defense, who try to get an edge. And the first half, to me, boss, looked like a throwback to what we used to watch in the 2000s.
Yeah.
When the Pistons were holding teams to under 70 points, when they were advancing to the NBA Finals by beating the Pacers in the conference finals by a score of 69 to 65 in the deciding game. Like, I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. And the Wolves are a good team. That's the thing. Like, they're a good, you mentioned it, they're a good team even without Ant-Man. I think you were telling me that the Wolves, they have the best record without their star player this year. Right?
Since they don't have the best record, but they're tied for someone else. I forget who. Maybe it is OKC, but we have the best record without our star in Cade. Right. We have a better win percentage than them, but they still have a high win percentage.
They have a high one. Okay. So they're still a good team without Ant-Man.
Yes.
So that just proves that they're a good team. They still have guys like Bones Highland, Terrence Shannon, who I like a lot. DiVincenzo, who you guys don't like at all.
Randall.
Yeah, they have a lot of players. They got a good team. And don't forget, guys, they've been to the conference finals. Yeah. They've beaten the Denver Nuggets to get there. Yeah. So this is a really good basketball team. So neither team really looked great offensively, but that's what happens when you have two good defensive-minded teams. So it's not always going to look perfect. It's not always going to look clean offensively. It's not always going to be a well-oiled machine. But with that being said, to be fair, the Pistons did make it harder on themselves than it had to be. It was too many times, especially early in this game, when the Pistons will get a turnover. They turn the Wolves over, push the ball, and then give it right back. Right? Where they just were not capitalizing on the mistakes and the turnovers. It was just too many miscommunications, overpassing at times, just not capitalizing. So that was an issue early. They cleaned it up in the second half, but in the first half, that was really why I thought this game was still close. Yeah. But in the second half, boss, quickly, particularly in the fourth quarter, the Pistons had the Wolves looking like this.
Guys, anyone guess who's under the towel?
Yeah, if you guys saw this game, you can guess. But this is how they were looking before the game was even over. Boss, you mentioned this. During the game, early in the game, Ant-Man was smiling, joking, barking, laughing, taunting, all this stuff. But come fourth quarter, this is how he was looking. Who knows what he was thinking, but he knows that Cade was out. He knows that much. Yeah. Right? So it wasn't like there was a caveat to why this happened. Like he saw it. He recognized what we have, and he probably saw this team is different from the team that he faced last year. So
Yeah.
that was just nice. I love it, man, but I love seeing that more. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
So
And it was Naz Reid, everybody.
now did they get it? Did they guess who it
They
was?
got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all watched the game. But yeah, but that look to me, boss, told me that the Pistons are just better than the Wolves at this style of play.
Yes.
The Wolves are a good defensive team. They lead with their defense. Ant-Man is the offensive hub, obviously, but they lead with their defense. And the Pistons showed them, hey, when we lock in and y'all locked in, we're better than y'all. We're better at you guys at your game because this is also our game. And they overwhelmed the Wolves with their defense, especially in that fourth quarter. They demonstrated, guys, what Coach Bickerstaff has said about the Pistons a few weeks ago. He said, most teams don't want to play the way we play for 48 minutes. We do. He said, we have guys who love to play this way, where it's not always comfortable. It's not glamorous. It's tough. It's even painful at times, but they embrace it. And most teams in the league, most individual players in the league, they'll commit to it if they see it's winning basketball. But you saw, boss, in the fourth quarter, they kind of let go of the rope. They just could not sustain that style of play the way that the Pistons can. And it was evident. They looked all out of sorts while we were gaining momentum. So this is right. Pistons will win a physical game 100%. Yeah, exactly, Matty Fresh. Nobody is going to beat us at our style of play when we're playing the way we need to defensively, despite the shooting, despite turnovers and things that they can improve on. The things they can't control, which is the effort and the physicality and the defense, nobody's going to beat us 4 times out of 7 if we commit to playing that way. And tonight we showed that against a really good Wolves team.
Yeah. And I just want to mention too, just going back real quick, because obviously it was a very heavy turnover game, 19.
Yeah.
But because of our defense, the Minnesota Timberwolves were only able to score 7 points off of those turnovers.
That's a good point.
And so while it's definitely not something we want to see, especially when it's so clumped together, we had like 4 or 5 possessions in a row. It felt like that we just turned the ball over for some unforced sloppy passes. We also scored 11 off of their 14. So we beat them in both categories. But again, it's because we were able to get back, good transition D. And I said this, I think the last game, if not the game before, but it felt like our offense has been popping off. We've been shooting. This is another game where we've shot over 50% field goal percentage. It feels like our offense has been maintaining that, which is incredible as a team that kind of struggled on that end. And now I felt like we were overcompensating a little bit there, and our defense was kind of falling off because of it. And we had to find a good balance. And today that balance was there. 50, like to hold them to 30. What was it? We held them to 32% field goal on defense, and we were at 52% on offense. That's incredible. Like that's the balance that we needed. Despite, like you said, just some of the turnovers are just sloppy. But other than that, the shots we took were genuinely good. Some of them just obviously didn't go in. It's a basketball game. But when we play our physical defense, we play it well. And I want to give a shout out too to some of the adjustments made at halftime. It's something that I've been wanting from this team, and it's been more apparent and evident. We kept our foot on the gas on defense, but also some guys that struggled in the first half found their rhythm in the second half. Guys like Ron, guys like Jenkins, it really just helped them. They made their own personal adjustments which helped the team. And our turnovers did go down a little bit there. So
they did.
The second half, I want to say. Somebody did ask, it was a little bit earlier up, but I do remember it. I don't know if you have the stats, but what were the bench points difference? Because they were saying that Trajan must be smiling.
That's a good question. Let me see if I can find it real quick. You said the bench points for both teams?
Yeah.
It doesn't show it here.
Okay.
Maybe you guys can let us know what you guys see. The bench comparison between the Pistons and the Wolves. Let us know if you guys see that. But go ahead.
But that's basically where I'm at too, because our bench really, it felt like the starting lineups were pretty equally matched for most of the game. In the second half, they took off. The fourth quarter, they took off.
Yeah.
They ended up bringing in 4 of their starters at one point against our bench. In the third, which helped, which again just kind of shows what they needed from us. But our bench, I think, really just had a really great game overall. Something that they've been not struggling with, but a couple guys like B-Ball, like Ron, just had a couple off games. Then they are a big part of our bench unit. So for them to get back in a rhythm today was huge.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get to some quick comments, guys, and we will keep it going. Super Morty Man says that's why we've beaten the New York Knicks this season by a combined 84 points in 3 games. Yes, every single game we led with what? Our defense. And then games without Cade, it's all about identity. You got to lean in even more to who you are and do it as a unit. And that's what they did. Avery says to Uncle T set the tone early. Yes, he did. We're going to get to him for sure. Kevin says the Wolves shot the ball terribly. Pistons played good defense, but even the myriad of open shots they got, they just missed. Bad night at the office shooting the ball for the Wolves. I agree. I do think those shots, though, some of those misses were a result of just them not being comfortable in the rhythm when it comes to how they were able to play because of our defense. So they did miss some open ones. I think had they played other teams and gotten those open shots, they would have hit them because they would have been more comfortable. Michigan says our history, every era from 80s to 2020s is defense. You know what it is, bro.
Yeah.
And lastly, Devin says, don't do. Yes, he told me this in the live chat, and I want to make sure I get this. He said, don't forget, because I didn't hear this, but apparently they were commentators were talking about the Pistons and the Thunder possibly in the finals. This was at the point, I think, in the fourth quarter when the game was out of reach and it was pretty much a dominant performance. And they were like, yeah, the Pistons look good. So I didn't catch that, Devin, but I appreciate you citing that because teams, and not even just teams, but just the media now is starting to see with all these national wins, boss, that we're not playing. And especially without Cade doing this to the Wolves, who didn't have Ant-Man, but still on the road, this convincingly, people more and more are starting to see, on national TV, who we are and what we like to do and how we do it. So wanted to get those comments in for sure. Go ahead.
That's real quick. Devin says 55 Detroit bench to 22 Wolves bench. I just did the math myself. I got slightly different numbers. I got 52 to 31. Either way. Four of the 31 were like those last 2 free throws that Tolu gave to them. So 4 points. So it was more like 52 to 27. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I'll be right back. My dog just locked himself in the bathroom somehow.
So, guys, that's the key, man. It's always going to start with your defense. It's always going to start with your defense. That's why I was happy about the first half, because even though we didn't play great offensively, even though we had a ton of turnovers and unforced plays, it all came for the most part off of trying to get out in transition and score, off of trying to take advantage of their opportunities. It was just they weren't able to cash them in. They were just moving a little bit too fast, trying to get it done a little bit too quickly, because early it was a struggle offensively. It was a struggle on both sides offensively. So it seemed the Pistons were just a little bit too excited when they would get a turnover. Oh, let's get a score. Let's get a score. Because the points were hard to come by, right? So that's what I appreciated, is that the defense, it started with the defense, and they continued on from there. So, boss, is Moosey or Bear good now?
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what he did, but I will never compare, dogs to toddlers, but sometimes they do similar things.
Oh yeah, mine do that sometimes. So some similarities there for sure. That's why I put mine to bed before we start.
Yeah.
So guys, let's go ahead now and get to some box scores and see how this game played out a little bit more. And guys, let's start with the point guard position. Let's start with Daniss Jenkins. Guys, in this game, Daniss Jenkins finished with 13 points on 6 for 16 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 8 boards, 4 assists, 3 turnovers in 28 minutes. Boss, what did you see from tonight from Tink in this game?
Wow, the 8 boards is huge because that's just cool to see. Usually you see it a little bit. You see the 8 more in the assist range. But I do want to say real quick that JD, we won the assist game, guys, and JD had 5 assists and he had the most. So it wasn't like, this was lack of ball movement. It just was very spread out. We had a couple guys with 4. Actually, we had 4 guys with 4. That's crazy.
That's good.
The 3 turnovers. He started the game off with a turnover. It started the third with a turnover. I was like, come on, Jenkins.
Slow start.
But a couple of slow starts these past few games, but has just been able to clean it up. And it took a little bit longer for him today, but he was still very reliable with the ball. I thought he played great defense, especially against some of their guards and wings that are just able to shoot. He made up for it in other ways. 6 of 16. He was like 1 of 7, I think, to end the half.
In the first half. Yep.
So then he was 5 of 8 going forward.
1 of 7 in the first half.
And then 5 of
5
8.
for 9.
Or 5 of 9. Okay.
In the second half,
5 of 9, which is much better. So a better second half, which is all we can ask, from guys is to improve. 1 of 4 from 3, which is a little bit unlike him. He usually sings a couple. But yeah, no big complaints here. He had 4 fouls. He went out early too with foul trouble. and then didn't get another foul for the first half. Ended up getting 2 more later on. But again, it was a physical game. And you mentioned the free throws, but overall we had 24 fouls and they only had 13. Like
That's crazy.
That's to me is a little bit like these are two teams that both play physical. So it's kind of a little bit pick and choosy at times.
That's the weird part, really quickly, because it was the same type of style, defensive style. It wasn't like it was an offensive team, and it's hard to really call it. Like these teams play the same way. How are you not calling the same way? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to say too that I felt like they got to play good chunks of physicality. The game wasn't necessarily slow because of the whistles, but there were a couple that it was like it felt like Rudy got some calls that Duren should have gotten at the other end, and vice versa with some of these guys. But look, we're used to playing through that. We're used to it now. It's a common complaint from us, but to still play that physical and they get the foul difference and still win by 22 is a testament to how we played. And then we're not going to back down from our physicality just because of foul trouble. But yeah, he finished the game really strong. They showed it like he was a little bit under his averages today in the last few games without Cade, but above average in rebounds, above average in defense. So not going to fault him at all for that. They definitely defended him well as well. He had a couple, just a couple out. He had that one play where he like dribbled it in. He had to open at the free throw line and then dribbled it closer to Gobert and just completely overshot it. And we just thought that, he was in his head a little bit, but after that, he kind of got out of it. It was just much more of a playmaker. And he only played again, 28 minutes, barely 27 and a half more like, so numbers that I think that if we had to call upon him later in the game, he would, especially because that's when he found his rhythm. It was a little better, but this was probably the hardest defensive matchup he's had to face without Cade. Like, yeah, he played against Luka, but that's not he played against good players, but not good defensive teams. The Hawks are good defensively, but I think the Wolves are better. So a little bit tough, but he came in clutch when we needed it, helped grow the lead, played good defense, was just out there being just a steady presence for this team.
I agree. Some quick comments. Kenyatta said, Perk said Randall will outperform Duren. Well said, Perk. Yeah, it definitely didn't happen.
Gobert didn't even outperform Duren.
No, combined.
That's a weird thing to compare to also.
Why would you even say that? You got a non-all-star versus, okay. Anyway, I don't know.
And different positions, but all right.
Yeah, whatever. Thanks, Perk.
Yeah.
Play solid, still learning. DJ shooting could have been better with those 8 rebounds and 4 assists. I dig that. Yes, sir. Me too. Let's get to my dog, Maddie. Appreciate you, Maddie. What up, though, bro? Maddie says, shout out to Deuce and Boss for putting all these hours in on a Saturday. Live stream during and after the game. The hard work definitely doesn't go unnoticed in the Pistons community. Thank you, bro.
That's so
I appreciate that, man. Maddie always showing love. That's my guy, man.
You guys are the best.
You guys are going to get a chance to put a face to the name soon. When we have our show during the time between the end of the season and the play-in. We're going to have you guys come on. Some of you guys come on. So Maddie's going to be the show for sure. But I appreciate you as always, Maddie.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys. All you guys, man.
Yeah.
For sure. For me, Boss, this was an up and down game for Tank.
Yeah.
He had his moments and he had his moments. First half was really rough for him. His decision making wasn't great. It was a little out of control. Some of his passes were errant on the break. He had a JD open for a dunk. He was leading them, but he just led him too far. Right? Just a little bit too moving too quickly, moving a little bit too fast, a little bit too anxious, just trying to get things done. Just doing a little bit too much, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, going off glass instead of just putting it in a hoop for easy floater. Just it's like, why'd you do that? Just overthinking.
Yes.
He had a much better second half though. Much better second half with his own offense and just with his pace and just leading this team. He really tried to push the pace in the second half. That was a huge thing for me. Is pushing the pace. The defense is always going to be there. He was a dog again defensively. He's always going to give you effort defensively. He did tonight. Yeah. But second half, he made the adjustments.
Yep.
He made the adjustments. He settled down. He just played his game. He just settled in. Jeremy Hart, guys, Coach Hart, his player development coach, last show, reminded us that he's basically a rookie.
That's what I was going to say.
He's basically a rookie.
Yep.
He's playing meaningful games for the first time this season. He's kind of gotten thrown into the action. He's played games well, won games for us, and gotten DMPs. Thrown back into a starting role when Cade got hurt, and he's playing well again. And then next game he's getting 5 minutes. So it's just been really inconsistent for him. But now, like these teams, these players, this is his first time seeing a lot of these guys for the first time. So that's the big part of it too. He's learning on the fly. So that's why I'm kind of giving him a little bit of a pass with some of these up and down games to start. Because especially in the second half, when you see him make an adjustment, you see that he's literally learning on the fly and he's making adjustments and then getting better in the second half of these games. So it wasn't the best game for him by any stretch of the imagination, but the second half was much better for him. And I think he ended up playing a pretty good game overall, boss.
I like that you mentioned the rookie thing, because that's exactly where my mind went as well. Is like, if we hadn't had to call on Daniss and it wasn't someone that we already had seen play to the best visibilities this season, and he is basically a rookie. He's learning, and he has stepped up for us this season in absences, but those were in November. Those are when, of course, wins matter. But this is a tough stretch. We're not worried about the teams behind us because we're focused on ourselves. But of course, you want to finish the season strong. You don't want to lose that number one spot. So he's playing, tougher teams. And just for his role now, stepping up for Cade is to basically, help carry this team in this very hard stretch. We have OKC and then Minnesota again. Like, we have some tough ones coming up. So, but like you said, I will point out what I didn't like about a first half, but if you would make the adjustments like they've been doing so well as a team and individually lately, I can't fault you, because it's that whole thing of like, well, it happened, so now what? You can either go into that mindset or you can just do better and finish the game better, which he absolutely did.
Exactly. So good overall game from him, and a great second half for him to really just get us back to who we are and how we play. And that's when the game really took over. They took the game over. So good game for Tink overall, man. He did enough in this game for us to get a convincing dub. So good game for him. Boss, let's keep it pushing. Let's go now to Duncan Robinson in his return from a 1-game absence, guys. He had 10 points in this game on 3 for 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 2 assists in 24 minutes, boss. Take off on Dunk.
Yeah, I also had no turnovers. 24 minutes, 10, 2 and 2 is fine. 3 of 6 is great. 2 of 4 is great, but you just, you want to see him put up more volume. But nobody shot more than 4 threes tonight. And while that is like he tied with Ron. Ron is also 2 of 4. But that speaks to their defense. That really speaks to their defense, because when you have someone on your team like Rudy Gobert, you can focus more on developing your defense as a team on the perimeter. And that's why I think that they do have such good defense there. It's kind of like when we can rely on Stu to hold down the paint, so other guys can grow in those areas. But you do want to see him shoot it a little bit more. But he had some really nice catch and shoot ones that were very Dante DiVincenzo-esque. He answered when called upon. So he had that one of his threes too was like, he was being bothered by Terrence Shannon Jr. and I think he thought that he was in rhythm and he felt good, which is why he took the shots that he did. But I also think that a little bit was a chip on his shoulder. Like, this guy's been physical with me all game. Like, I'm going to make you make a call, or I'm going to, throw a 3 up in his face. So I'm not mad at Duncan, because it ended up not being detrimental at all. And again, he shot 50% from 3 and overall. But so a solid offensive show out. You just, of course, want a little bit more volume. But some of that was just the way that they had he was defended. And again, it was only 24 minutes. Usually we do see him closer to the 32 range. So that would give him a little bit more time to get 2 more shots up. So I also, he only had 2 fouls too in a game that was physical.
Very physical.
And a couple of his rebounds, he just flew in there again. I'm just very impressed with him. It was only 2, but they're important in games like this where both teams are physical and want to get in transition. So
yeah, for sure.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think Duncan Robinson, I think they said during the game, I think he became only the 3rd player in Pistons history with 200 plus 3-pointers made in the season.
Yes.
Right.
On his first 3, I think. Yeah.
Yes, on the first 3, and which he made. I think the other 2 are B's, of course, last year, and Sadiq Bey when he was a rookie, I believe. Yeah. So he's joining some pretty good company there, is Duncan Robinson. So for as much as I say I want him to get it up more, which I do, right? Yeah. I think Malik had like 300 plus last year. So I mean, that's
Ant barely beat him. He was like
on the very last year.
Ant. He's like,
Ant took 17 or 18 threes in the final game just to catch him. Whatever. But back to Dunk, I want to give him credit because he's been reliable for us on both sides, to be honest, by his standard for what we expect from him. I think when we all signed him here at the beginning of the season, when he came here, and looking at where we are now, I don't think too many of us will be upset about what we expect from Duncan Robinson versus what he's actually given us. So I want to give him credit for that for sure.
He's improved so much into this scheme since he's been here. I remember a constant complaint from both of us, but I'm just going to talk for myself because I know it came out of my mouth multiple times, was just why is Duncan out there for so many minutes if he's not doing anything?
That's what we
You
always
can't say that about him anymore, even if
Nope.
he's not throwing up shots, because he's effective on both ends. And whether it's he's not getting up shots, it's off ball movement. He's registering assists. He's getting rebounds for us. He's staying in front of his guys. So yeah, he's definitely, like you said, when he first came here, and then also just the way he played for the first 20, 30 games, it was a little bit more like, I don't get it quite yet. But he's definitely understood and bought into the whole idea of, like, when you're out there, it's a team game. So if you're not making your threes, you're unable to find a shot, just go be helpful somewhere else. And that's why we can have, 7 guys in double digits, and why it's hard to pick poll game who gets the belt, because it's team ball.
Exactly. So, and I liked how we've said this already. We talked about this before, but most of us thought, for the most part, for those who watch in Miami, a little bit, but most of us thought when he came here, he was just going to be a catch and shoot guy.
Yep.
A sniper.
That's how he played in Miami too.
That's how he played in Miami. The last year or two, I saw him mixing it up a little bit more, but I've never seen him do it at this rate. And what I mean is that he knocked down his first 3, and then a few plays later, he followed that up with another pin down that he came off of. But this time, when they closed out to him and tried to get to him, 2 guys got to him. Yeah. He made a perfect slip pass to a cutting Paul Reed for a dunk.
You're right.
And that's the playmaking that I'm talking about, that I wasn't expecting to see at this level from Duncan Robinson. And he's just playing chess based on what's happening in the game. Okay, you're going to give me a 3? Okay, cool. You won't next time. And when you don't, here you go, Paul. Like, that's just keeping the defense honest, keeping them guessing. That's something that Duncan Robinson has been able to. He's not great at it, but he's good enough to be able to keep the defense honest and to be able to make plays in situations like that. So he deserves credit for that as well.
And I want to give him credit too, because that was just vitally important to getting Paul Reed rolling in this game as well. After a couple Paul Reed games that weren't necessarily, well, he had the first one was bad. The last one wasn't bad, but it was foul trouble. It wasn't Paul Reed-esque. He wasn't in it. So it was beneficial that, he also just made the correct pass in a very turnover heavy game, got it to B-ball, who got a dunk, and was able to mentally be in the game a little bit better than he left the last game.
Facts. So good game from Duncan, man. Like, nobody had a ton of points in this game. It wasn't like it was one of those games where somebody had 30 and it was a bunch of 20. Like, nah, it was a defensive minded game. So when I'm looking at the box score, I'm not looking at him like only 10 points for Duncan Robinson. Yeah. I'm like, what else did he do on the court? Right. In a game when a ton of points weren't scored. Go ahead.
Not a heavy, like Duren had 5 assists and that led. Like, so the 2 assists seem small. I saw someone say earlier they would like to see him dunk, maybe if he's only getting 10 points, register more assists, more rebounds. Yeah, true. But in this kind of style game, the assists were just shared as well. So
yeah. And Super Morty Man made a good point. I don't think everyone had well, is he talking about the Pistons? For the Pistons. Okay.
Only one person in the game had 22.
Wow. Yeah, that was DiVincenzo. And nobody else for the Wolves scored more than 20. So once again, just very, let me see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think you said guys in double figures. 7. They had 1, 2, 3.
And their
third leading scorer was 22.
1, 2,
defense.
3, 4 of our 1, 2, 3, 4 of our guys had more than, that was Randall at the third. 4 of our guys had more than him, and the 5th tied with him. Herder had as many points as Randall.
That's Randall. Right. That's who Perk thought was going to outplay Jalen Duren. Come on, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing, Perk? Come on, bro. Come on back to this side, man. All right, guys. Let's keep it pushing, man. I thought Duncan was good in this game, for sure. Boss, let's go to Ausar, Tasmanian, backbone of the defense, Thompson, guys. Tasmanian Thompson finished with 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting, 6 boards, only 1 turnover. No assist for Ausar, which is surprising, but 1 turnover, 4 steals. 4 steals for Ausar in 24 minutes, boss. So not a crazy, glamorous box score. More so a box score deceiver in this game. Yeah. But what'd you see from Ausar in this game, boss?
So I think the last game he also finished with no assists, and we just said that he'd been pretty good. I think he's got to have the hockey assists in there. But again, kind of a weird assist game. Still 28, but spread around. So obviously the 4 steals. That's Nuts.
It's ridiculous.
It's what we ask of him. When you see 6 points and it's someone I want to see him get closer to 10, 11, but he had 6 points off of 3 of 6, off of 50%, and 4 steals. Like we want him out there for his defense, and he delivers that, and everything else is bonus. The 6 boards is also huge. In a game where they have guys like Gobert and Reed, and Randall is bigger than a lot of these other guards as well. Like they have big guys. So Ausar, there was a couple of mistakes. Like, let's see, he had 1 turnover, but there was a couple of things like at the rim. It's like his 1 turnover was the one that were like, just go in and dunk it, and he overthrew it. Yeah. So just a couple, like there are possessions where it's like he could have been 5 of 6. He could have been 6 of 6. The baskets and looks that he got, but it just didn't work out that way. But again, he had a couple nice turnarounds, a nice little midi, like. That is improving. He still looks just as confident as we wanted to see. And I said that last game is I want to see the consistency of that, because he's been up and down all season. Then he was having his best game stretch. Then he got injured, and now he's having his best game stretch again. And you can see the confidence on his face. He's making the right decisions. So a really fun game from Ausar. He just made it very difficult for a lot of guys. And he had a steal on like different people too. Like he stole from Gobert, he stole from DiVincenzo, he stole from Randall. Like he was just very aggressive. 3 fouls too. So you can't complain about that at all either, because he was playing. We had that one. We like pointed him out because the way he was moving, the way he was switching and moving and rotating, he was in between guys to have help defense. If a guy got too open, he was ISO on them. Like he was just. It was incredible defense. Incredible.
He can comfortably guard whoever he switched onto.
Yes. Switch on the Gobert. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you switch. Whoever you switch onto, if the Pistons decide not to fight over and to just switch, whoever he switched onto, they don't really have an advantage unless it's just a huge guy in the paint. Anybody in the perimeter, you can switch very comfortably with Ausar. No problem. You want to switch to a shooting guard? No problem. Switch to a small forward? No problem. Switch to power forward? No problem. He just has that defensive versatility that makes it really hard on offenses. I'm gonna start with the small bad things, the critical things I have first. Unforced errors. That was a problem early. Just the turnovers that he had, overpassing a little bit on the break. That was one of the few times when we get a steal and we turn it over, give it right back, things like that. That's crazy, Maddie. 19 steals in the last 5 games is crazy. That's insane.
Almost 4 steals a game.
4.5 a game. That's just insane. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, he also had a bad foul on the 3-ball on DiVincenzo. He ran into him. Y'all know I always call out the fouls and the threes. It grinds my gears. I can't stand it. Whoever
that was a very
it is,
obvious one too.
It was a bad one. It was bad. It wasn't none of this. None of this. You know, it was just a bad foul. So, but wasn't a perfect game, but the good definitely outweighed the bad. He was so disruptive in this game.
Yes.
So disruptive. We always say, boss, if you're not scoring a ton of points, how are you affecting the game in other ways?
Yeah.
And he helped the Pistons, boss, from what I saw, just stay in control of this game. Just stay in control. They stayed attached for a while, but they never had a huge run to where they came and took the lead, and now and we got to regroup and go to Tobias to get our offense going and get our defense going and stack possession. It wasn't anything like that. No. We led for 91% of this game. 91% of this game, the Pistons led. And Ausar, he made some really big defensive plays to keep it that way, and very timely defensive plays. When the crowd was trying to get back into it, when they had a little bit of momentum, he would shut them right up, get a steal, get a block, get on the break. So he was defensively, he was just ridiculous. Man. Heads up defensive play I think he had on DiVincenzo out the gate to start the game. They turned us over to start the game. And he got back. DiVincenzo tried a Euro to get him off guard. Ausar right there for the stop. Yep. And in the next play, he intercepted a pass from Gobert. From beginning to end of this game, he was just big. But he made some really big ones in some really crucial moments where it's like, if they score again, we're probably calling timeout. And here he goes with a steal. Here he goes with a block. So just the timing that he's making these plays now defensively is just huge. Incredible stuff, man. Go ahead.
I think the timing is exactly it, because he helped keep it steady, like you said, helped keep us staying out there, but also helped with momentum switches and making sure the momentum stayed with us or stayed away from them. It was just really cool to see. And I think I'm glad you brought up the DiVincenzo one early, because the Euro step, like any other guy, I mean, not any other guy, but even I was like, oh, I'm very proud of Ausar for not leaving his feet in that moment, because he timed the stop incredibly. He didn't he didn't go for it until DiVincenzo was fully in his shooting motion, because that would have been a foul, or he would have just shot over him. He didn't leave his feet early. And that's just, again, just the discipline that we've seen from him, especially in a couple games this season where he's had, where we were like, I think Ron should be trusted more so because of the swipes and the early fouls and stuff. No, today his timing has gotten so much better.
Exactly. It's funny, guys, because JB Bickerstaff recently compared him to Ron Artest as far as what he's able to do, how he's able to guard so many guards. Ron Artest was a multi-dimensional defender. He could guard 1 through 4 also. He was a lot bigger, but he could guard on the perimeter. I think he won DPOY the year we won the championship over Ben, which was crazy, but he was that good defensively that year. So he was a really good defender on the perimeter. And he could also get in the boards. He could also clean the glass. A lot of the things that I think Ausar has the potential to be better, though, just because of the natural ability that he has, the 1 percentile athleticism that he has. But I do see a lot of similarities there, just the ability that he has. Offensively, I thought he was good too. He's starting to get comfortable. He get into that midi game more and more, which we like. We've been saying, just go to that Jaden McDaniels midi. Just work your way out from there. We know you can score at the rim, but try to branch out a little bit, right? Even if it's not 3 balls, just try to branch out a little bit. Just make the defense have to stretch out a little bit more. So that was great from him as well. I want to get to some quick comments. Let's see what we got here. First, we have Kingmaker says, isn't that 4 steals, 10 games this season? Wow. If that's the case, I did not realize that. That's insane.
Yeah. King, do you
one more than Big Ben? Wow. That's huge. If that's
do you want to look that up, or else someone else, or else I'll write it down to get it to maybe look up at it.
You can look it up later. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, make a note of that for sure. We can check that out later. Chevy says exactly what I was saying. Every time they tried to make a run, AT did something defensively to kill their moments. Exactly, bro. It was just the timing of those plays. Sometimes when you do it in a crucial moment, it can count as 2, because that can be what breaks their back. And we saw in the 4th quarter, their back was broken. They just didn't have it. They waved the white flag. They just were just chucking up shots, and just in panic mode. So Ausar was huge as far as that, man. Lastly, another backcourt steal. He took the ball away from Julius Randle. Just took it out of his hands. Give me that. Cookies all day. So Ausar, man, for all of the criticism that he gets about his offense, for all of the criticism I've given him about his offense and how does he take a jump, it's not there yet. But he is creating his own offense because of the defensive plays that he makes. He's not scoring and getting offense, but he's giving us extra possessions with the steals, things like those. That's extra possessions that he wouldn't have had otherwise. So he's finding ways to be impactful. The offense will eventually catch up, even if it's at a slow grind. I'm fine with that. If he's giving us this defensively, I'm okay. I'm living with it, boss. I really am. So.
Exactly. And again, it goes to show like his confidence, just what he's been doing. Like when he's on the court, he's just making the right decisions. And yes, he's made a couple mistakes, but it was a mistake-heavy game for multiple people. So he can't be perfect. But I agree. I do like the, how you said you think that he can develop a midi and everything. And like I've said before, I think that they gave him goals to work on this season from the off season, but it really feels like he's just playing back to his normal form, and then he can grow from there. So, because again, we saw a lot of heavily arched shots from him. That's when he was missing his free throws. He's just doing some things that, of course, I think just Fred Vinson thinks that would benefit him. But now I think he's going back to his roots and playing the way he wants to play. And then 100%. He can add to that, he can add to his arsenal with those skills already.
Facts. I want to shout Kevin out too, because Kevin been saying this all year. He's been saying this before JB said. I heard Kevin said it, that he thought that Ausar was Artest light. So you dead on with that one, bro. You dead on with that for sure. And there's definitely some similarities there. Artest is one of my favorite players of all time. I'm not mad at that. Ooh, that may not be a popular take because of what happened at Malice at the Palace. But from a player standpoint, I understand what you're saying. Chevy says, I think Ron Artest said that Malice at the Palace was birthed out of him wanting to compete with Ben for DPOY. Interesting. Interesting stuff there. Okay.
Well, Ben's shove on him started it, so. Well, I didn't start it.
He started with the hard foul. It's a long story about that.
It's
Jamal
a long
Tinsley
story,
actually told Artest, go get your get back. And that's when that happened. Yeah.
That makes sense to me because they were playing so physically and getting frustrated with each other. Yeah. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
That'll be a whole nother show.
Yeah.
The Malice at the Palace, because I've talked to Steven Jackson about that personally. He was telling me cool stories when he was here about it. And I was trying to get in the way. He said when he saw the foul happen, he actually switched on to Ben Wallace. So Ron Artest would stay away from him. Like, no, bro. Like, I got him. And then Artest still went and fouled him anyway. So, yeah, we'll talk about that later, guys. But, yeah, I do see Ron Artest there for sure in Ausar. But I see Ausar eventually ascending and being his own player that other players are comparing to him.
Agreed.
At some point. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there on Ausar. Let's keep it going. Let's move on, guys, now to Tobias Uncle T Harris in this game, guys. Tobias Harris, guys, he finished with 18 points, leading scorer for the Pistons, 7 for 10 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 4 boards, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, as many stocks as Ausar Thompson. Got him differently, though. 1 steal and 3 blocks for 4 stocks. For Tobias Harris over me? Yes, sir. Boss, take off on what you saw from Tobias Harris in this game. What'd you see? Holla at your boy.
Man, I just steady, clean, 7 of 10, and like the misses were like one of his misses was at the end of the second 3. That was like the shots that he was getting were so pure and so nice, and he went up, he got a layup over Gobert, and then the next and he got a layup over Naz Reid. He's not afraid of these guys, and he keeps showing them that, and they should be very afraid of him.
Great point.
Because Rudy Gobert had 1 block today.
Wow.
Depoy Rudy Gobert.
4-time DPOY, huh? Only got 1 block.
Yep. And Tobias got 3. And
That's
so
crazy. That's crazy.
And he just continues to fill in where we need it. And today we needed the offense, did great. We needed the defense, did exceptional.
Yep.
And again, I think he had good matchups today. I think that him and Randall play similar style of ball. Randall's still, I think, bigger from the eye test. I could be wrong. 4 assists, again, tied for second with three other guys in that category.
Yeah.
He only played, he played 28 minutes, but we didn't see him. After he went out in the first, we didn't see him until much later in the second.
Second half, right? Yeah. Okay. I thought it was just
quarter,
me.
He finished the second quarter for us and like 3 minutes left. And then we saw him more in the second half, I think, just to be, the driving steady force out there. But our bench was doing so well. Loves everything from him. He continues to just be on this trajectory for us that we vitally need from our vets going into the playoffs. I said it in the live. He played against the Timberwolves like he used to be on the team, because he always pops off against the Magic. He always pops off against not the Magic, the Sixers. He always pops off against certain teams. And
the Bucks even too sometimes.
Yeah.
And so days.
He outplayed. I mean, he was so DiVincenzo was there number 22, and you compare these teams, and the Wolves seem a little bit older. They have young talent, but they're older. And Tobias was just like, it doesn't matter if I'm the oldest on the team today. I'm gonna be the best one, and it's not the first time that he's done this. So incredible game. It's why he's on the poll. Only 1 foul as well. He had 2 turnovers, but nothing crazy. Again, just kind of those unforced, trying to just get the transition going was kind of where we lagged. He had 1 in the lane, too, a couple too close in the lane, but they couldn't stop him. They didn't have an answer for him, but he had an answer for everyone there. So he played. Julius Randle, guys, he couldn't turn around. Whether it's on the perimeter in the paint, he just had to give the ball up. That's what Tobias Harris did to him. Randle had a tough game, but Tobias is his main defender. And we talk about it like Tobias, certain matchups highlight Tobias's defense a lot better than others. And tonight was one of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's well said, boss. Real quick, Heisenberg says, Ron did his get back. Ron got his get back, but when Ben shoved him out of his shoes, all he was thinking about was world peace. He put his head down. He didn't want no parts, bro. He didn't want no parts. Save all that. Save this dialogue for the show. We're gonna do another show later about that. But Heisenberg, I know you got memories the same way I do about that. Okay, so boss, my thoughts on Tobias Harrison's game. Like Ausar, I want to start with get the negative out of the way. Early in this game, the help side defense wasn't there. There was I think it was first play of the game for them out of the pick and roll when JD got caught in the pick and roll. Backside help. Rudy Gobert just walked into the rim for a dunk. Tobias was supposed to slide over and at least contest or foul. He didn't do it.
He was scolded.
What's that?
He was scolded by his teammates. Not scolded.
I was just about to say that. But that was the last time we saw that.
Yep.
After that, he went like this. He knew. He said, my bad. But I had to point it out. Got to be kicked to go with the bat.
Yeah.
That's the only negative I have, though. I mean, for him scoring the Pistons' first 8 points was crazy. Out the gate. First 8 points, like, I got y'all. I'm
3 for 3.
4 for 4, I think, right? Oh, no, 3 for 3. You're right, because it was an and one on one of those.
That was the 8, but he did go 4 for 4.
4 for 4, right? Okay. So the first 10 or 11 points he scored for the Pistons. And he really, I think after that blown assignment on that first play, he got an and one on the other side after that. Made up for it immediately. And one. So that was nice. He dropped Julius Randle, guys. Tobias Harris dropped Julius Randle and knocked down a 3 ball. Did y'all see that?
Jump up.
It was, and then from what I recall, it wasn't like it was a pick and roll and Randle stepped on his, JD's foot, and I think he just literally just dropped him.
Great handles.
I think he just dropped him. So yeah, that was nice. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, finally early in this game when the Pistons were really slow out the gate, he was the reason we were still staying attacked. That was the 9% that they were winning this game. When they were winning this game, it was very early. And Tobias Harris was carrying the team on his back. So yeah, he just played his game, bro. He played his, you could see he really got up for this game. But as always, I like the defense. Outside of that first play, I like what he gave us defensively. He was just solid, moving his feet, playing physical. We have guys on this team who match up well with their bigs. And I think he's one of those guys who matches up well with a Julius Randle because he's strong enough, he's tall enough, he can move his feet. So he was good. He was good in this game. I have no real complaints other than that first play of the game. That's all I got.
Yeah, this is too. Julius Randle fell and touched the Earth's core. Well,
bro.
Yeah, it was funny because I told Deuce, I was like, I've never seen a man. I mean, I've seen you fall on your side. I've never seen a man fall straight back on his butt and just like hop right back up because, like Deuce said, he didn't want to be a highlight reel. Unfortunately, Tobias still made that 3, so he slightly was, but he wasn't.
He definitely was.
He said he's like, no, he wasn't. And but it was pretty funny. I had to commend Randle for just how fast he got up in that position.
Yeah, he did not. Yeah, man, you get a little extra adrenaline rush when you touch earth like that. You're trying to get up quick to make sure that it's it's a shake, but it's not a bait. Like we didn't finish the play, so but it didn't work out for him. So Tobias was good. Yes, leading scorer, just Mr. Steady, Mr. Steady on both sides of the ball. So good stuff from him, man. Boss, let's keep it going. Let's go now to JD, Jalen Duren in this game, guys. Finished with 10 points, 4 for 7 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, still hitting his free throws. He's now 31 for 33 or 34. 30. Wait, let me see. He was 20 for 31 last game. 30. Jalen Duren is 30 for 33 from the free throw line in his last 4 games. 30 for 33 from the free throw line in his last 4 games is insane. That's well over 90%. That's like 95%, maybe even higher. But that's crazy. That's crazy. So I had to shout that out. Huh? What's that?
I just checked. It's 91%.
91% is insane. That's insane. So, boss, take off. Take off on JD. What do you see?
All right. Well, I can see if you didn't catch the game, if you're not looking at the box score, 4 of 7 for only 10 points. It's because Rudy Gobert, no matter how much you disagree with him, he's hard. He's hard to shoot over. There were times I was like, I want us to feed Duren more. He did get in foul trouble very quickly, so we had to come out.
Yeah, he did.
So that probably messed with his numbers a little bit. But 4 of 7, you definitely want to see him get more shots up. But again, he still didn't let Gobert shoot him down. I just want to say in 29 minutes, he had 10 points and 13 rebounds and 5 assists and a block. Just to compare with the 4-time DPOY of the year, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert had 14 points on 6 of 9 shooting, so a little bit better. 12 rebounds. Duren beat him there. No assists and 1 block. So overall, JD had the better game.
Right.
And I want to say that was in Rudy Gobert played 32 minutes. So in 3 more minutes than Duren. The only thing he beat him in was field goals, and that was just 4 points. So yeah. And again, this is a guy that needed to step up and do something for his team. He still had 14 and 12. We would call that a good game for JD. So I'll call it a good game for Gobert. But JD outplayed him. With the free throws as well, 2 of 2. I mean, the split today was 11 defensive, 2 offensive. And I like a more even split, but I'm not mad at that at all because of who we were playing. The defensive rebounds were much more important. He had 11 defensive rebounds. The next most was 6. Daniss had 6 defensive rebounds. So the foul trouble was a little bit of a bummer at the start, but he still ended up playing 29 minutes. We still, had a great shot from his backup speed ball call. So yeah, I'm not mad at anything I saw from him today. Really, I can't really think of other than like he had 3 turnovers. That paint was just a tough area. That's where a lot of the turnovers happen, trying to get the ball moving in that area. So,
Yep.
but other than that, he played great and just really helped with the defensive scheme of everything. He was switched a couple times onto Randall when they switched, and Ausar was switched onto Gobert. Duren had he got that dunk because he was out on the perimeter making things tough, and basically got an open dunk. He also had an open one. He just went right down the lane with it in the half court, and that's when you're just like, they had Naz Reid and Gobert on the court, and that's like, that showed you how much of a threat our perimeter shooters were in that game. For them to leave the paint wide open for JD, that's crazy. So a good game against a tough matchup for JD.
I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit to GVH here. I missed his super chat. My bad, bro. GVH says a star steal to a dunk once a game is becoming the norm. Yeah, bro. Defensively, like he's got teams scared.
The half court steal.
They don't even want to dribble the ball up court. They like outlet. Somebody help me. So like he's just making them uncomfortable, and that's exactly who we are. And he fits to a T, bro. So my bad for missing your super chat. I wanted to get you in here for sure. Shout out to you, man.
Yes.
For me, boss. I know you didn't have any negatives. I don't have that many. All I have is, you mentioned the 2 early fouls, like because they were undisciplined fouls. You didn't need it. You know, swiping at the ball on Gobert early in the game. You know, we didn't need that. Moving screen not too long after, didn't need it. Right, those were his 2 fouls. So just unforced errors, unforced fouls. You didn't need them. Sometimes I won't say you want to let a guy go, and I understand why he may have done it because Gobert's not a good free throw shooter. But you being on the court is more important than those 2 points or 1 point or no points if he doesn't make any free throws. But you being on the court, that foul is more important than those 2 points because we need you to play.
Yeah,
it's great to have a b-ball Paul who played great, but we don't always want to have to rely on that. And we haven't because he hasn't really been in foul trouble lately. So I don't want to get on him too much, but just be careful with that because he was out of the game, I think, 2 or 3 minutes into this game. And we needed to rely on other guys to step up, which they did. But I'm just watching that for sure going forward. He did come back into the game and settle down. So it wasn't a huge thing for me. He came back in, he learned from it, he settled down. Doesn't happen too often. But he played from there on, I thought, physical, but disciplined, right? He did a really good job of keeping Rudy Gobert off the glass. The Wolves did have some offensive boards because they got up a lot of threes, and some of those sometimes are long bounces. So when you got inside position and the bounce is long, sometimes you're going to get the offensive rebound because of how it landed. So that happens sometimes. But I thought he did a great job of just, even at times, he wasn't even trying to get the board. He was just trying to keep Gobert sealed, and he's relying on his help to come grab the offense. He's relying on Tobias. He's relying on Ausar. I got him sealed. Come get this board. Instead of him trying to go over or out jump Gobert and go get it. You're taught that defensively. Like sometimes you're taught scheme-wise, we're going to get this board together. I'm going to seal the guy. I'm going to seal my man. And nobody else is here. You're going to come in and grab the board. So I thought he did a great job of just doing that. Doing that. That requires you to be disciplined because a guy like him, he wants to get the board. But for him to be able to just play physical enough to keep a guy like Gobert off the glass, who's bigger than him. Gobert is 7'1", easy. Well, JD's 6'10". So it's not like he's going to be able to just push him around. So for him to be able to keep him off and to allow and rely on other guys to go get the boards, that little thing goes a long way. Go ahead.
And I just a real quick with that board thing, it reminded me of the loose ball foul that Gobert had on Duren because we said it in the live. Gobert didn't have to hold on to JD, but JD, because he had a good box out. Gobert had a good box out on JD, but he was so worried about what JD would do afterwards that he felt the need to hold on to him. And so even when the boards looked easy for Gobert, he knew that he was there. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Good point. We got some super chats I want to get to. Before I do that, I want to ask you this question. We'll get to the super chats.
Yeah.
Guys, where would you rank JD right now as far as big men in the league? I don't know if he's second, but he's top 5
Who do you guys
easy.
have as first? Who do you have as first?
I have Jokic first. Jokic to me is still the best player in the world. To me, right now. Shay's the MVP, but for me, Jokic is the best player on the planet. And then you got guys like Shay, and you got Wemby right there, who probably could be there the next year or two.
Because of
I've got JD maybe right there after that. What about you guys?
Because for me, with Jokic, it's like I know that he's a center. I know that's his position, but the way that he plays,
I feel it
offensively. It feels more like
center.
Yeah, he's more of like you can't even describe him. You know,
Yeah,
he
he's one of one.
still registers assists and rebounds and assists like no other, triple doubles on the regular.
Yeah,
averaging them. You know, more
Yeah.
triple doubles again in the past few years than games played by Embiid. But
Yep.
I'm just curious, like, because when I think of him, because I think of maybe Giannis, physicality. In terms of physicality,
Is Giannis a center though? He's more so a power forward though.
I know
than
that's a tough
center.
one. So I'm just
You know?
curious. So Super Morty Man had Wemby at first and Jokic at 3.
Really? Okay.
I
I'm not
can't
listen.
prove-
I'm not mad, bro. I'm not mad because we all have our opinion. So it's not like I'm right or
Different
you're wrong, bro.
parameters. Different
Right.
parameters.
It's what you look at too. I can
Yes.
I can understand Wemby because Wemby's a much better defender than a
That's what
Jokic
I'm
is.
saying.
So
And
like, do you
JD
think Jokic is that much better offensively than Wemby is defensively? Maybe not. So I understand what you guys are saying. The gap to me, slight. I would say because Jokic is so good offensively, bro.
Well,
I would say Wemby is the gap between defense is in Wemby's favor a little bit more than the gap for Jokic offensively.
So
I understand why you would say that. Go ahead, boss.
those are two guys in the West as well. But like, so if you put defense, I'm putting JD over Jokic, not Wemby. JD
For
over
sure.
Jokic, you know?
Yeah.
So it's the parameter thing. But I still think
Yeah.
he is the best in the East. And then you got a bunch of random centers in the West that can just do it all. They are just like, I can't even
but like,
compare.
guys like Şengün, I'm picking JD. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
other bigs, East or West. I don't know if I can think of a better big outside of Jokic and Wemby than JD. Like I don't think I'm taking anybody else in the league.
People might a
over-
healthy Embiid.
Well, he is never healthy. So so that's why you wouldn't take him. He's never available. You know, because JD plays. He's healthy. He's 22. He plays. So for me, Jokic, Wemby right there. And that's gonna probably change in the next year or two.
Yeah.
And then JD. I got him third.
It is like Wemby and Jokic. Wemby's not averaging triple doubles yet, so I don't think. I think Jokic just averaging triple doubles means that he doesn't necessarily have to play defense. But again, that's their weakest point going into the playoffs.
Right.
But Wemby one day could average triple doubles. I'm not going to say. I would say I still think in the league, Jokic is just the best overall player, no matter what.
Okay.
But if you take him out of the center, if you just are just like if he wins overall, and then you have to pick someone else for best center, it's probably Wemby.
Yeah. I like this Bionic. JD best all-around center in the league. Okay, I ain't mad at that. Hey, stick your chest out, bro. Stay with your chest. I ain't mad. I'm not gonna give him that yet. At 22. I'm not gonna give him that yet. I gotta be fair. I can't be biased. I would probably take those other two ahead of him today.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
But when JD is 26, 27, like how Jokic is, to me it could be a two-headed race. It could be Wemby, and it could, as of who is in the league right now. I probably got Wemby and then JD.
Yeah.
And that's great company. That's great company. So you guys are saying JD, Embiid if healthy, asterisk.
He popped off
Jokic can
tonight.
hit
They
those
did end up.
threes.
They
He
beat
did.
the Hornets. They beat the Hornets.
That could be fun in the playoffs, guys. That could be fun if we play the Sixers. That could be fun if he's healthy. If Embiid's healthy.
That scares me only because of Embiid's theatrics. It scares me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the foul calling. Oh
yeah,
man, that's a great point. You're right. You're right. Chris says we stay fly. Ballin'. Jay-Z remix Brooklyn. Anyway. Okay, we got some super chats, man. Kevin Solutions with the insider. Robert, it's an inside joke, guys. Don't even try to figure that one out. It's hilarious. But Kevin also came back with some support, some love. Appreciate the super chats, bro. Appreciate you, man. You got the big bucks, man. How can I get like you, my dog? How can I get like you? Hangman Solutions, Kevin Solutions, let me know. Yeah. Appreciate you as always, bro. Real one, man. Super Morty, man. Kevin, you have an additional question to ask too. We always say anything over $50, you get a chance to ask any kind of question you want. So if you got another question, bro, throw it at us. Super Morty Man says, "Go Kevin, go! This is one of the best channels on YouTube, man. It's all because of y'all, man. It's all because of you guys. You guys come up and support. So we have a lot of. I love doing this. My wife probably loves you guys because she doesn't have to hear me talking her ear off after every single game. She's like, "Yes, I know, honey, I get it.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, fine." So she loves this. So thank you guys for allowing me to be here with y'all.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's keep it pushing, man. You got anything else on JD? Oh, his passing, boss. His passing is continuing to improve. Finding cutters, finding guys under the hoop. He's doing a really good job of that. Yeah, that's crazy. He's growing rapidly, man. He was getting mugged again. He was getting fouled again. They were not calling this game fair. They were calling these ticky-tack calls on Naz Reid, which got him going for the moment he was going was a bad. But he got before that, JD got mugged on the other end, and they called a little ticky-tack foul on. It's like, come on, bro, just call it the same way. Call it both ways, bro. So I'm gonna leave that alone. We can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
But I thought JD, despite not having a ton of points, another double-double, right? It's not always gonna look the same, but just finding ways to be effective. He did have another block for him. So yeah, it wasn't a glamorous game, but a good game. Good game from JD, doing the little things, keeping them off the glass, just the little things that we need. So good game from JD, guys. Anything else on that, boss?
Nope, that's it. Do you want to check the poll real quick?
Ooh, let's check the poll real quick, y'all, as to who you guys thought should get the belt in this game. So, guys, it was, wow, I think it's changed, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so now we're at Tobias Harris, boss. Tobias Harris over me at 52%.
Wow.
Ron Holland is at 22%.
Okay.
Ausar Thompson is at 18%.
Okay.
And Paul Reed is at 8%. So pretty balanced.
Yeah.
Pretty balanced. But Uncle T, reliable, he ran away with this one. And
yeah.
I ain't mad at y'all.
It's hers to give too. So I wouldn't be surprised at that. I can also see him rewarding Ron for having his best game in a little bit.
Yeah.
I can also see him, with B-Ball Paul, because he was in there to help when B-Ball was popping off. It was with Herder in the lineup. So yeah.
Right. For sure. So guys, we will leave it there, man. I'm glad you're feeling entertained, bro. That's why we're here. We want to try to inform and entertain, make y'all day just a little bit better if we can, because y'all do that for us. All right, guys, let's go to our bench. Let's check some bench guys and see how this game played out even more, boss. Let's start with Marcus Sasser in this game. Guys, Marcus Sasser did not score in this game. He had 1 board, 4 assists though, and only 1 turnover in only 11 minutes. Boss, anything you stood out to you when it came to Sass? The 4 assists to me were very quiet.
The 4 assists are great. Again, tied with the second most with 3 other guys.
I didn't realize that.
The biggest thing, he had 1 turnover, fine. With the 4 assists, that's actually the better ratio of the 4s. So take that. I think the craziest thing is not only did he not score, but he didn't even shoot.
I didn't peep.
He didn't even have an attempt.
No attempts. Okay. I feel better now because I was like, okay.
Can't get mad at that. This was a game where everyone was bigger than him too. But so the size, but he understood it enough to make the right calls in terms of passing. He was just a pure facilitator out there. Again, 4 assists. If he had 1 more, he tied JD for the most and no points. You're just like, well, that just means that in 10.5 minutes, he went out there and just made everyone else's life easier.
Yeah, that's what Fonny said too, boss.
He scored. He didn't attempt a shot, which of course you want to see him. I was hoping he would try to get hot in the 3, but he just helped other people get hot. I think one of his assists was to Herder for his made 3. So it was just feeding others. Of course, I would always like to see him shoot. We never know when he's going to pop off, but a solid 10.5 minutes. He came in for Jenkins. They brought in LeVert and Herder together in both halves to play with Jenkins for a few minutes. Yeah. Jenkins got in foul trouble, but I think it was going to be a Sass coming in anyways sort of deal. But he came in for Jenkins. So, and then when he went out, LeVert took over. LeVert took over the ball handling, which when LeVert he did score on those possessions also. But we talked about when Sass was point or Jenkins was point, LeVert was getting his shots up. And we said that he looks better when he's not the main ball handler. I think Sass was in. I think we even said, like, look at him. He's in there because he's playing shooting guard. I was like, yeah, because Sass is in. So they were just able to play off of each other well. So if anything, he was just a great spacer. Obviously a great facilitator today with 4 assists. It's a bummer we don't get to see him shoot much because we want to see that. But I think last game he was like 3 for 11. Like it was tough. It was rough.
Yeah, it was tough. It's tough.
So you'd rather, see him not take shots if he doesn't think he has it and just help other guys get it than, just put up nonsense for the point of it. So good game from Sass.
I agree.
In the low minutes.
Right. No, I'm gonna change my tune because I was gonna have a little bit of a different reaction to his game for the reason you just said. But I didn't realize he didn't even take a shot.
He didn't even take one.
And now my whole outlook on this game for him is different. And here's why. Because all I saw was the 0 points. I didn't see the no attempt. But here's why it's different. The 0 attempts and the 4 assists from Marcus Sasser tells me that he's buying in. Yeah. That tells me he is buying into how we want to play. Because he's known as what? A scorer. What do I always say? He's a bucket. He can score at will. At time, he can score in bunches. He can get you 6 to 8 points in 2 minutes. That's just that's who he is. So for him to be a bucket, instant offense, and to not take a shot, but to have 4 assists to 1 turnover means he's just playing the way we all play. I always say I'd rather he needs to be a cog in the system as opposed to just trying to be somebody who's patting the ball, looking to score in the one-on-one, and everybody's just watching the play.
Mhm.
And he's doing a whole lot more of that now. His movement off ball, his cutting, his finding guys for assists, his unselfishness is not something that you would normally relate to or relate with when it comes to Marcus Sasser. And that's not saying he's selfish, but he's known as a scorer. So to see him just trying to do whatever he can to fit in on this team is why I think he's finding his way on the basketball court.
Yeah, sorry, I'm dying all these comments. They're all laughing at my LeVerter, LeVert and Herder.
Your catalytic LeVerter.
Yeah, it's funny because when I made Valentine's, I sent a Valentine to everyone on the team on Instagram, and I didn't know what to do for Caris and Kevin, so I just called them Kevis LeVerter.
Kevis LeVert, I'm screaming.
But look, the way that they came off the bench tonight, and I'm not saying that Sass is necessarily losing his spot yet, because again, we had to use him as a backup point.
Yep.
They came off the bench together with Jenkins in. Like, this is we've been talking about the different ways that they would use the shooting guards, and to see them come off the bench together in both halves, both substitution times.
Yep.
That could be what we see.
That's true. No, I'm gonna have my eyes on these next 8 games for that.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why, because I think we're gonna see a lot of different combinations still, just to kind of tinker and see what works the best.
Yes.
So it's just nice to see these different lineups for sure. Go ahead.
I did want us to, just to not change it over from what you were saying about Sass. Is
go ahead.
absolutely, like, he bought into it, and he understood his role today as a guy. Because before Cade went down, we were seeing these guys rotate in and out at the shooting guard, and that's where he's most comfortable. But today he just really held it down as the point guard, and that's all you can ask. And because we talked about that with Daniss too. If Daniss isn't scoring, we want him at least facilitating.
Facts.
And vice versa. And so that's what it was for Marcus today.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree, man. So I'm very encouraged, boss, by what I saw. Like the no points and 4 assists for me, that's great.
Mhm.
That's great, because it's not always going to be your night when you're scoring a basketball. So for him to be able to find ways to still be impactful is important for him and for the Pistons if he's going to get some playing time. So good for him, man. Good growth, as Duncan Robinson said to Isaiah Stewart earlier this year. I think when Valanciunas tried to throw him to the ground and Stu didn't react, he was like, "Look at the growth."
Yeah.
So look at the growth, Sass. Look at the growth, bro. I appreciate that. That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll leave it there. Man. Let's go, boss, now let's go to Caris LeVert. Let's go to catalytic LeVerter. I'm just playing. Caris LeVert in this game, guys. Let's see. Caris LeVert played well. Caris LeVert, guys, finished with 8 points on 4 of 7 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3, 2 boards, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, and a steal and 2 blocks. So 3 stocks for Caris LeVert.
Yeah.
Good job. In 20 minutes, boss. Take off on what you saw from Caris LeVert in this game.
20 minutes was perfect. We liked having him out there. There were people in the second quarter when we were kind of just giving the ball game away a little bit with our turnovers. They're like, put LeVert back in during our live. And I never thought I would hear those words out of your mouths. But
you said that.
4 of 7 shooting, and 2 of those misses were 3. So he was basically 4 or 5 from the field. Just his 3 ball just wasn't falling. He still attempted. He had some great looks. Obviously, his offense, he had some just nice floaters, some nice touches.
Yep.
It helped us get back into the game. It helped us grow our lead. It was very important. The 4 assists, again, as somebody who had to come in and be a facilitator when Marcus, Sasser, and Jenkins were both out, fantastic. Yeah. But the thing that sticks out the most, again, is the defense. It's something that he can do both of, and that's what we want to see, offense with his defense. And tonight we saw that. 2 blocks is incredible. The steal, I really liked him on, I think just a couple times, like, his matchup was mostly Kyle Anderson, and that's a little bit tricky because those guys are completely different styles of play. They both kind of hold on to the ball too long sometimes, but for different reasons. Yep. Slow-Mo's also his nickname because of the way he sneaks up on guys behind him, and he got Caris on one of them. I think Caris had 2 turnovers. Yeah, one of them was just Caris. One of them was Jenkins, I believe. But he really just held it down. Really good off-ball movement. Again, fantastic defense. 3 fouls, but a couple of them were like he fouled Naz Reid, I think, going out of bounds, grabbing the wrist. Maybe that was Gobert. Holding onto a wrist there, just being frustrating. That was done. Oh no, it was Randall because it was almost a jump ball, but then his hand moved off the ball and he ended up grabbing a wrist.
Okay,
but that was when you were yelling at Duren, like, Duren, where are you?
Yeah,
like,
bro. Yeah, that was the other thing with JD. Yeah, that was the other thing. When it was 2, it was LeVert and Herder trying to fight off Gobert for offensive rebound. JD wasn't even in the frame.
Yeah,
it wasn't until after they called the foul on Caris LeVert where you see JD. I'm like, bro, where are you?
Yeah.
Why you letting this old gump beat you down the court like that? Anyway, go ahead.
Right. But no, but Caris, again, almost forced a jump ball on a guy much bigger than him. Super handsy. I'll never complain about him getting fouled if it means he's playing physical defense, which it absolutely did. So yeah, he played great. Great game from Caris.
Yeah. He was one of the best players in the court tonight. He was one of the best players in the court for sure. Offensively, he was very aggressive and decisive. That's what we always talk about. He wasn't patting the ball, dribble, in the words of Charles Barkley. He wasn't doing that at the top of the key. You know, he was catching the ball and getting downhill immediately. He was just going. And that opened up driving lanes for guys like Ron to off the catch, off the driving kick to get to the hoop because nobody's there because Caris took two guys with him. So stuff like that was important. And he got it done in the mid-range too. That midi was working. That midi fader, he had 3 or 4 in that mid-range. And that was just taking what was there. But
that's where it was falling.
Yes, but it was just being decisive. He was just playing. He looks more comfortable. He's repped it out with these guys more. He's getting more comfortable. Some of you guys have said Caris was brought here for the playoffs. That may be the case. Because if he continues to play with this kind of confidence and this aggressiveness and decisiveness that he's playing with, that's the kind of Caris that I like. I was one of the guys that were saying I thought Caris was going to be the most important acquisition this offseason between him and Duncan. I thought it was going to be Caris. Hasn't turned out that way.
No.
But he can still be helpful to this team if he's doing the things he's doing tonight. And the Pistons, I noticed this too, boss. They played him primarily with Marcus Sasser. He did play some with Kevin Huerter, but he also played with Sass at the point for the most part. And I thought it's funny because neither of those guys are pure point guards. Caris isn't a pure point guard. Sass isn't a pure point guard. But it just told me that the Pistons trust Sass right now to run the show between those two if it comes down to it. And I think that's because it benefits Caris more. Like you see Sass doesn't have to score to be effective anymore. But when you ask Caris to do what Sass was doing, it may not look the same way. So you want Caris you want him to be that combo guard who can facilitate, but who's looking to score first, as opposed to him trying to run the offense. They'd rather have Sass do that, even though neither are a point guard. They're more comfortable with Sass doing that because Sass can still be effective either way, better than Caris, and Caris is best as the off guard. So to me, I thought that was a great adjustment from coach, to be able to see that in practice, to see how they look and see who's better at which position. And it worked out for them well tonight in this game. So I thought that was great to see from Caris LeVert. And defensively, he was great, man. He came over and help side SWAT on Julius Randle. He was guarding Julius Randle a few possessions and stood him up. He was outmatched a lot in this game off the switch. There was no double coming over. He was like, no, I got him. I'm straight. Forcing him into bad shots routinely over and over again. Caris LeVert, defense. So for me, if you lead with that and you give me what you're giving offensively, not hurting us, not a ton of turnovers, I'll take a 4-to-2 ratio, assist turnover. I'll take that from Caris LeVert. It's a 2-to-1. It's not great, but it's good. It's good enough off your bench. So yeah, if you give me that, bro, this conversation for the backup shooting guard spot is gonna continue to the end of the season. Even though, as we've said, they can play together, Kevin Huerter and Caris LeVert. They've shown they can play together. Yeah. Which is also a good sign, is those two shooting guards out there sharing the basketball at times and kind of sharing the load offensively. So we got some different looks and look good. Caris was good. Agreed.
And I think that this matchup really was beneficial for him. Like Kevin says here, Caris was good. He had me nervous every time he started dribbling a lot, but it worked out tonight and his defense was excellent. Yeah, because he had guys like, the Wolves defense didn't know what to do with him because they didn't know what he was going to do. Because we didn't even know what he was going to do. We haven't we've seen him pull up for shots, but we haven't seen him pull up for little floaters like that. We've seen him try to drive to the rim. And so they didn't know what to do with that and for him. So I do agree still. And like you said, too, with the shooting guard rotation, all three of those guys are working really well off of each other, off together. He was mostly with Sass because, again, it was Huerter and Caris in, and then Sass would come in, and then Huerter would sit down first, and then you'd run those two. But the shooting guard position, which was also just basically the point guard too, if Daniss wasn't in, they all did great. All of them brought the ball up the floor at a couple times, different times, and were able to produce off of it. So it's just nice when you have that kind of consistency and they're all learning, how to play well with each other. Because even Sass, I think once Cade comes back, right now it's looking like Kevin and Herter and LeVert in as the shooting guards as they did today.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you can still throw in Sass again for offensive production or facilitating if needed.
Yep.
And the fact that he's getting minutes with these guys who will most likely be on the floor with too is huge.
Right. Yeah. Good points. Good points,
Mhm.
boss. That's all I got for Caris
Mhm.
LeVert, man. Like, keep it up, bro. Like, just hopefully he continues to get better and more comfortable as we get close to the postseason. Because we're gonna, if he can bring that, that's gonna be helpful. That's
Yep.
gonna be helpful for sure. Sella says Caris kind of reminds me of Rip a little. Yeah, Rip was much more in control. Like, Rip's role was much more defined for this basketball team. He knew
Yeah.
exactly what he was supposed. He was literally an Energizer bunny running like just all day long. He was in great shape
At times.
Yeah, at times. I got you. Rip was,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I was gonna walk it back just a little
Yeah.
bit, Sarah, just a little bit. I was gonna give you just a little bit. But yeah, I kind of see some similarities. I mean, they kind of built the same way. He's 6'6", Rip was 6'7". Neither guy is really that big, that wide. They're both kind of wiry guys. They're both fast. You see Caris getting up the floor fast, and Rip was one of the fastest guys, 94 feet.
That's what Rip did. Yeah, Rip with ease.
Rip was just nonstop. Just he could run miles. He would run miles during the game because he's just nonstop moving, coming off screens, pin downs, whatever it is, backdoor cuts for late. Like, he could just do it all offensively with his movement. So go ahead.
A quote. I think Doc Rivers was the one who called the Lakers Pistons 04 finals. But I think that a quote from that was Rip said that he thinks he's the most athletic, the most conditioned, agile guy in the league. And they was like, well, if he's number one, then Kobe's number two. That's how they played against each other. That's funny. But I love that from Rip because I don't disagree with those guys are both very conditioned. The next game was when Kobe was like, you shouldn't be playing basketball if you can't play 48 minutes of it. And those two guys could play 48 minutes and beyond. I don't think they would ever have to sub out. They would still play it the same way. But
to be honest with y'all, even if they were 1-2, Kobe and Rip, I'm not saying you're wrong, but Rip was in better shape than Kobe, bro. Like, Rip was I remember, I'll never forget, I think it was game 5. I think it was the final game of the finals in 2004. I told you guys this story before, but it just always stuck with me. Kobe gets fouled. He goes to the line, and he's like huffing and puffing before he even shoot the free throw. And you see Rip behind him walking back and just pacing back and forth. Rip just like he's fine. He's ready to go. He's not huffing. He's not puffing. He's just ready to go. He's ready for more. While Kobe's like on that free throw line. Rip's conditioning was stupid. He had his own personal chef. Like, this dude, he took his nutrition and his conditioning seriously. Like, the way he takes his shooting is how he took his conditioning. Like, that dude did not play because he knew he had to be that way in order for him to be peak Rip Hamilton.
Yeah. And we've talked about this too when we talked about our All-Star game. How would you fix the All-Star game? And I think it would be bringing in past players to participate in things like the 3-point contest. But if we had like an old heads team, I wouldn't want to face Rip to this day.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a nightmare for anybody.
Yeah,
like,
truly.
It's funny because Reggie Miller, who actually created that style of play, hated guarding it.
Yeah.
Like, he said he really understood what other players had to deal with when they guarded him. He understood it when he started guarding Rip in the conference fight. He's like, I'm sorry, y'all. I put y'all through all this. Yeah. Like, he said he was gassed. It was like looking in the mirror. Spider-Man meme, like, bro, like, will you please just stop moving? And Rip was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah. I do see some similarities there, though, Salah, for sure. I do see some similarities. That's a pretty good. Yeah, pretty good call. His shot off the pick was crazy. Yes, it was. Especially you got Rip, or you got Ben that wall setting screens, and Corliss and Sheed, all those guys. Yeah,
Prince was doing great in the corner. He would just step in and screen so Rip could get his midi. It was nuts.
Yes, exactly, guys. So we'll keep pushing, man. Tapping in on time. What up, though, bro? What up, though, man? Let us know your thoughts on this game, bro. Shout out to you, Culture Detroit. Y'all go follow Culture Detroit, my dog, my brother. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Let's go now, boss, to Kevin. What is that, Velvet? Herter, guys. Kevin Herter in this game finished with 11 points on 5 for 11 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, and a steal in 22 minutes, boss. Take off on Kevin Herter. Don't hurt him, Herter.
He hit his first 3 attempt again, I believe. And you had mentioned it, like, if he could just get into rhythm, and I wanted to see more. I want to see like 3 makes, but the fact that he's taking them, but then he missed his next 2 threes, and just decided, well, I'm still going to score in this game. So he just took it to the rim constantly. It was awesome. He had he had that really nice pass to Ron that just fell through Ron's hands. Oh, man.
Did you guys see that? That no-look pass on the break? That should have been a highlight. And he smiled after the play like, bro, come on. But he didn't get mad. He just kind of laughed it off. He seemed like a really easygoing dude, to be honest.
I mean, that's what they said.
But go ahead.
Another reason they brought him here was just for the culture that he adds. So, but 5 of 11, not mad at. Of course, you want to see a couple more threes go in. He had he had the same amount of attempts as Dunk, Tobias, Jenkins. Like the 3 attempts were pretty spread out. It was just they just played good threes, but we figured out other ways to play. His defense was great. He had a steal. He had that steal to Dunk earlier too. Or I don't know if he dunked it, but he laid it in. A steal to the rim, basically. His presence out there was just steady. It was great. He had let's see. He had 2 turnovers. Okay, I don't necessarily remember them. Well, one of them was, I think, the pass to Ron, unless they called that a Ron turnover. But he didn't really have control of it. So just again, nothing super ugly or anything. Just trying to make plays happen. He did fantastic. He only registered 2 boards, but he was in there trying to grab, pull rebounds down. Again, 11 points is fantastic. And if one of those threes hit, he would have been even higher up. Just coming off of a great game from him, obviously.
That's exactly what
still play. Yeah, to still play with this level of intensity and play well. He's really fun to watch out there, and I'm glad that we have him. He's been just very consistent again, and he only had 1 foul again in a very physical game. Did his job out there. I love it. He's entertaining. He's entertaining because he's another guy that you don't necessarily know what he's going to do. So
yes. Yeah, exactly, because he's a multidimensional player, 100%, boss. Let's get some quick comments. GVH says, Red Velvet mini games in a row. I like Truth Hurts. Truth Hurts. I like that Truth Hurts. That's dope. I'm going to have to use that one, bro. If you don't mind. Truth Hurts is pretty cool. Kevin says, Herder is shutting me on up. And I couldn't be happier about it. That's hilarious. Yeah, because I remember it was kind of torn between Herder and LeVert and who you guys think was the better player for this team and things like that. So yeah, he's definitely made a believer, I think, out of a lot of us for sure. Fat Kism said, I want Kevin and Duncan on the floor at the same time so bad. We may see that in spots. We may see that at times, to give the Pistons more spacing and stuff like that. That could be a nice look. We've seen it a little bit, not a lot, just some experimenting. So we might see more of it later.
Well, what did I say in the live? I said, Kevin seems to work with everyone. He's the common denominator.
Yes.
Because I said I like it with Duncan. And then you were like, oh, he's looking really good with LeVert. And I was like, wow, he's just really looking good with whatever other wing he's out there with.
Like Javonte Green. You could just fit anywhere with any lineup on any given day. Heisenberg says, Cousin Kev had some nice drive and layups. Cousin Kev always makes you laugh. That's hilarious. He did, bro. He's a great mover without the basketball.
Yes.
He's also he can handle the ball as well. He can just do a little bit of everything. Playing like he did on the King. You sound like me, bro. Playing like he did on the Kings a few years ago. He's looking more and more, boss, like that guy to me. Yeah. The shooting isn't what it was, right, yet, but everything else is there. He's locked in on both sides as a connector. He came into the game and immediately got a layup, off-ball layup, like Heisenberg was saying.
Yeah.
Immediately. He's a great mover. He makes himself available. He knows when to cut. He knows when to screen. He knows when to flare out for it. He just knows how to play. He knows how to play. He does a great job putting the ball on the floor and making plays for others too when the shot isn't there. So he can do a little bit of everything. He can score. He can put the ball on the floor. He can make plays. He can get to the rim. Even scoring over guys like Gobert. You mentioned Tobias. He also, thank you, Heisenberg. He also scored over Gobert. Gobert. Perk calls him, before he's called him Gobert. Bro, come on, it's not Gobert. So now he gets it. It's Gobert. But yeah, he's just a great all-around player. Guys like that always find themselves on a basketball court because they don't hurt you. Looking more than just a so I wonder now if the Pistons are going to look to bring him back. Well, maybe not at $17 million, but I think they can try to find a way. It's going to be tough because it's like Tobias is up, Kevin Herter is up. What do you do? But they have options. That's right. Between those two guys, you've got $43 million in contracts coming off the book. So if they can renegotiate with both of those guys for maybe half, and maybe look to bring in somebody else this offseason if you can resign JD to his extension, that may be all they need. Who knows? But I think Kevin Herter right now, boss, he may need to stay here.
Yeah.
He may need to.
This
I
isn't
think he
even
needs to stay as of right now. Go ahead.
this isn't even about the future contract, but it is about how when he came here, we were all just like, what is this move? We should have gotten more for Ivy. This is, and I said it multiple times. We just Herder's here just for the contract, just for his expiring. It's a future move, which it is. But like Kevin's saying, like it also is just like Trajan. Okay, Trajan.
Right.
Okay.
Cooking.
Like, and again, there's plenty of arguments for, thinking you could have gotten better for what you gave up. But this has worked out better than I think a lot of us could have seen.
Imagine, man.
And again, I've talked about it before where I don't want to, especially when Trajan, my biggest thing is before the deadline, and I was just having a heart attack every other night every time I saw a trade proposal that I didn't like. And he just kept saying, we're not going to make a big move. We're not going to make a big move. And I was like, well, I just want to trust him in that. So they're not going to make a big move. And they didn't necessarily. They made a pretty, now I think, equal move. And I'm saying that equal because of the way that JI has performed in the past and just where he's at now. It's a little bit more equalized to now have a guy that's not just sitting on the bench waiting for his contract to come up so that we can have the money and space, but it's a guy that's really contributed. So I just
it's the opposite. It's a guy who's expiring.
Right. And I said the last time I gave Trajan my flowers, and I just give it again. Like I think we're just a little bit traumatized with some of as Detroit sports fans. And it's only Trajan's second year. So even if he did make a mistake, as long as he corrected it, I'm fine. But so far, he's earned the trust. He hasn't
really missed.
He's earned the trust. Yeah.
He hasn't even really missed. I can't think of a bad move he's made yet.
No, people are going to say, well, they gave up THJ, who's thriving in Denver, and they gave up.
But didn't you say his agent was a big part of? Go ahead.
I'll tell you guys real quick, because some people in the Denver community were questioning why would Detroit let THJ walk, because he's been so helpful here. Well, he didn't. Denver and Detroit matched contracts, which is the vet minimum, which is what THJ should be getting no matter where he goes. Sorry to say it. But Denver hired JJ Barea, and another guy that THJ knows from his Mavs year, and THJ preferred working with them and going to Denver over staying here. Basically Denver upping their coaching staff is what helped bring THJ out there too. So it's not necessarily personal. It's just what THJ wants to do with his career. And you might say Schroeder. Okay, well, that man also got moved to the bench, and the Kings are one of the worst teams in the NBA. Like, I don't.
And I heard that the Pistons also inquired about him this season, but by the time they did, the deal was pretty much already done with Cleveland. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he's in Cleveland now. And Daniss, and he plays the same and everywhere, and he is valuable, but it doesn't mean that he's the decision. And like we've talked about too, I think I've said it before. If we didn't make any changes, if we retained THJ and kept Dennis Schroeder and didn't really do anything, you guys would be complaining that we didn't do anything.
Right. Like, it can both ways. Yeah. I agree. Good point. Good
I do agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
A couple more comments and we'll keep going, guys. Fat Kism said as far as Herder being re-signed, he says, I feel it depends on our playoff run. Great point.
Yep.
Great point. And I agree with that too. It's still TBD, but from the early returns, I'm like, yeah, you may have to, because I see this sustaining because he just knows how to play. I don't see him falling off.
Here's the thing too that's beneficial is if we don't want to keep him, the way he's playing makes him packageable.
True. Well, he's a free agent after the season, though.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean?
You're right. But
so either we don't re-sign him or we bring him back for, less. I don't think he's going to warrant $17 million.
Can you re-sign and then trade someone?
Yeah, sign a trade. Yep.
Okay.
That's an option. Right. So I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Lastly, Heisenberg says, laugh out loud. Yes, the Kendrick Perkins pronunciation. Bro, have y'all ever heard him pronounce K's name? Bro, like, literally, he be like, I think the MVP right now is Cade Cunningham. And I'm like, what'd you just say? I'm just thinking to myself, like, so how is Cade doing that? How is Cade cutting that ham? Is he slicing it? Yeah. Is he chopping it? He always says Cade Cunningham. He never says Cunningham. Cade Cunningham. Like, bro, Cunningham?
Luka. You guys have with his throat. Like Luka.
It's funny. It's funny. Shout out to Purdy. Yeah. Shout out to Purdy, man. But that's funny. All right, boss. Let's keep pushing, man. Let's go to Ron. Let's go to Lil Ron. Hustle man, guys, tonight in this game. Finished with 13 points on 4-7 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. 3-5 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 4 turnovers, which is the only black mark for him. 2 steals. He made a floor with 2 steals and 2 blocks for 4 sacks. So 4 turnovers, but he got those possessions back with 4 sacks. So, Boss, what did you see tonight from Lil Ron Hustleman in this game?
He only had 1 foul too, which I just feel the need to point out because he also only had like 2 last game, I think, or 1 as well. So 20 minutes is huge. He did play in some garbage time, but not mad about it. He started off slow. I remember he had that step back 3 that he missed, and people were just like, ego, Ron sucks. In our live chat, some of the negative Nancy's over there. But you're not wrong. You don't want to see Ron. You want to see Ron play his game. But he did get to the rim a few times. 2 steals and 2 blocks is huge as well. That's what we want from him. And then after his defense started going is when he started to shoot those threes. He was feeling good. The threes were nice and they were fun. And I loved that for him. And I think he knew when they were going into, you could see he missed his 1 free throw and he automatically, you could just tell he's like, that's off. Because 3 of 5 free throws, that's, come on, Ron. But
a little better than that.
Yeah, but
if you can go 2 or 4 from 3, you can go better than 3-5 from the free throw line.
Exactly. But again, just started a little slow. I'll take 4 of 7, basically match Duren's efficiency as well. But 2 of 4 is just so fun, and it's just good confidence because again they had to collapse on him when he does that. And I don't think the 2 of 4 is what he's going to be able to sustain the rest of the season, depending on his minutes. But it still makes teams on national TV, other people are watching. It's still in the scouting report going to be like, well, you can't necessarily leave him open. I mean, you could, but in close moments, you might not want to because he still can make it happen. He makes life difficult. The defense was incredible. He was a great fun watch tonight for sure. And he just, after kind of a slow first half, just really picked it up defensively and offensively, which was just great to see because 13 points is perfectly fine with me for Ron Holland, and but the 2 steals, 2 blocks is what's most important on this 100%. Stat sheet, and he did it well. He had a really good him and Bones Highland. He had a steal. I think as he was stealing the ball from Bones Highland, I was comparing how both of those guys play similarly because Bones Highland was on Denver when they won, and he's I've seen him play for a few years, and they just both play they're equally sized. They play fast. They play physical, a little bit sporadic. So. Bones Highland's just better. I think Ron's better on defense and Bones is better on offense, but they were a fun matchup. Sure. They were one that I was looking forward to tonight. And I think, let's see, Ron won it. I'm just curious. Yeah. So Bones Highland had 6 points on 1 rebound and 2 steals, and he was 2 of 10 shooting. And that's just, again, a testament to Ron's defense.
Yeah, that was on one play. He literally just took the ball away from him. Yeah. Bones Highland. You don't see that to happen too, because Bones is a good player. He's a good player. He's a good offensive player for sure. But yeah, like Ron was up and down. He was really down early, but his energy was just great. We say at times, boss, like he's got to work on his decision making because sometimes it's like, come on, Ron, just slow down a little bit. But sometimes his energy wins him today. It hasn't really went for him the last few games. This was his best game in a while. This was Ron's by far best game in a while. Not just the scoring, but just across the board, just the impact. Yes, opportunity for him. And I think Michael said this is that JB liked what he saw from Ausar, so that's why he gave Ron more minutes. And it wasn't like Ausar was playing bad. Ausar was still playing well.
We've seen that.
He must have liked that matchup.
We've seen that vice versa this season. So they're not in competition with each other, but they're both very reliable on defense. So that's kind of where it's at.
But he was good on the glass too. Like we talked about how JD was boxing out Gobert and relying on his guy to go get the board. Ron was the one going to grab those rebounds. Ausar was the one going to grab those rebounds. Tobias was the one going. But Ron specifically, he was going up with authority. We all see like Kate, when you can tell he's engaged, he goes up, like he smacks the ball. Like Ron was doing the same thing. Daniss was doing it too. But all those guys, including Ron, was just getting on the glass and just cleaning it up and not giving up a ton of second chance opportunities and points, which is great. And he was fighting for everything in this game. He was fighting. The step back three is a no-no. I don't want to see no step back threes from Ron. I want to see set threes. The way Javonte Green set threes, I want to see Ron Holland in rhythm off a swing, put it up. Because you can't not take it. I'm not saying don't shoot it, but shoot it in rhythm. Put yourself in the best position to be able to knock it down. And he doesn't do that too often. We don't see him doing stuff like that. But that was what I saw. Like, come on, Ron, step back. I know you're feeling yourself, but you don't want to step back. You ain't there yet. You ain't graduated to that quite yet. You may get there, but not yet.
It was, but the moment wasn't it. Do a step back three when we're up by 20, but when they're making a run, and that's when it's like, okay. But again, the adjustments were made at halftime. So yeah.
So you can that's all you can ask for. So
yeah.
I thought it was overall it was an uneven game, but I still feel it was a more positive game because he was impactful with the scoring. The turnovers was impactful in a negative way, but he made up for it with the stocks and got the possessions back for us, and his energy is always high. So I can live with it. I can live with it. All right, guys, let's keep pushing. Let's go to Javonte Savage. Can you woo Green in this game, guys? Javonte Green finished with 6 points on 2 of 4 shooting. All of his shots were threes, 2 of 4 there. 5 boards, 1 assist. Wow, 5 boards is good. 1 assist is good. No turnovers, and a steal for Savage Woo, boss, in 14 minutes. So take off on what you saw from Javonte Green in this game.
Look, he missed those first 2 threes, but just kept shooting them because we knew. Even you, I think you called it. He had a corner 3 after 2 3 misses, and you were just like, "That's in," because Javonte Green doesn't put up shots like that unless he feels like he can make them when he's out of rhythm. And so he knew that was coming in, and then he hit a bigger one later in the game as well. The 5 boards, like you said, is huge. That's the 5th most, second most off the bench with B-ball. One of his better games. Yeah, exactly. 14 minutes. Incredible. Only 1 foul. Love to see it. All of the rebounds were defensive. That just, again, it speaks volumes.
Finishing
of course,
plays,
offensive rebounds are nice, but just to stop the last few games, we've been talking about how teams are getting too many second chance opportunities. So the defensive boards have been more important lately. And he went out there and made an impact. Great defense, made it tough. He switched. He was on Randall a couple times too. A big part of why he had a low shooting night.
And Naz Reid at times.
Yeah.
Pushing him off the block.
Yeah. Yep.
Giving up 6-7 inches almost.
That's like, well, when they have Gobert and Naz on the court together, and Woo's out there because of the bench unit's out there with them. He made an impact. He had that 1-2. He had a steal, but also I think it was on Naz, but he hit it off of a knee too. Like he had a swipe down and it went out of bounds. So he caused that turnover. So he was just very effective today, which you just love to see. And you talked about it too. He ended up not closing out this game because we were able to bring in our bench units.
He was part of the unit to close the game, like to put it away.
Yes. Yeah. But actually, now that I think about it, I think he was out there. I think it was him in the last few minutes as well with Chaz and Tolu. But he came in the 4th with like 7 minutes to go, and you said, "Look at he's in there to close it." So I do, especially with the injuries and also just trying to get some more consistency before playoffs and still kind of testing what guys can do for us. I give JB a lot of props for what he ran tonight. Because, I mean, the Timberwolves didn't have an answer for our bench. Their answer was putting back in their starters. Well, then when their starters needed to rest, our starters were back in to take control of the game. So I really just commend him on that too. And Woo was a big part of the reason why he was a big part of keeping the defensive tone throughout the 48 minutes of the game.
Exactly. He says, I love Javonte. Yeah, he was great, man. Like I mentioned Naz Reid, and it wasn't just Woo, but Woo was a big part of the reason that this was happening. When Naz Reid would turn the ball over, or the ball's knocked off his knee or his hip or whatever, his thigh, how many times did you see him complaining to the refs?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Javonte Green, those guys had Naz Reid frustrated, man. It seemed like he could not get the ball above his head to even get shots off. They were just making everything tough. And I didn't see Naz Reid one time tonight after he turned it over after a missed shot go like this to the ref.
Yeah.
I saw him do this though.
Yeah.
And trot down the court. When you're not complaining, it was like I was saying with Draymond Green when he fouled JD.
Yeah.
And Draymond Green just took the ball at the hoop and was like, slammed it. No complaint to the ref. That means it's like it's nothing to complain about, bro. And that's what happened with Naz Reid defensively with our Pistons. And Javonte Green was part of that. Just making it hard without fouling to the point where you can't even complain. That's just good defense, and you are annoyed because you can't get going. And Javonte Green at 6'5" did a great job getting switched on guys like Naz Reid, continually shutting him down, turning him over, forcing him into tough shots, and there was no complaint. That's Javonte Green.
And
that's Javonte Green.
Exactly. And just because you brought it up, how we saw him on Randall, we saw him on Naz Reid. I just wanted to check. So they had 14 turnovers as a team. Naz and Randall were responsible for 7 of them. Randall for 4 and Naz for 7. Like we had 19. And while like we didn't have anybody. You had to add up a lot of people to get to half who were responsible for half.
Right.
They had
right.
the two guys
Right.
that struggled the most based on their
Mhm.
usual performances being defended by guys like Tobias Harris
Yep.
and Javonte Wu. They
Yep.
were the ones who attributed to the most turnovers on their team and were not able to get it going. And like you said, couldn't complain because they just got outplayed. Yeah.
You know, if somebody get fouled, they're gonna complain to the ref. So oftentimes guys complain when they don't get, or when there is no foul, they're still complaining. So for him to respond like that routinely after a missed shot or a turnover, Naz Reid, that spoke volumes to me. Like these, for him to be the guard, so many different guys of different sizes. You talk about Ausar being able to guard 1 through 4, and Ryan being able to guard 1 through 3 and 4, and you can add K to that list if you wanted to guard 1 through 3 and some 4s. And now you got Javonte Green at 6'5", guarding 1 through 4.
Yeah.
That makes it hard. Man, this team defensively is so versatile. They are so versatile defensively. We got Javonte and Paul Reed, free agent, instead of signing Naz Reid to a big contract. Wow. We're going to get to Paul Reed in a second. I've seen a few comments about that because you guys know I'm calling myself out like I always do. I said before the deadline last year that the one guy I had my eye on for the Pistons at the 4 was Naz Reid because of what he could bring.
Yep.
If he looked the way he looked tonight, I'm like, I'm straight. It's just one game, but once again, the Pistons I told you this, boss. I've seen it with Trey Murphy, who I want. I've seen it with Naz Reid, who I've seen them cook against other teams and then look very ordinary against our Pistons. I saw Trey Murphy look very ordinary against Ron Holland, against Ausar Thompson. That doesn't happen. No. Naz Reid tonight looked very ordinary against these guys, and that's a credit to our defense, man. So you guys and Kevin and whoever else said it about Naz Reid, and I got nothing to say about that now. I really don't.
Gotta say,
I still think he's a really, really good player and what might have him. But it just shows how good our defense is. Go ahead, boss.
So the way that we were playing defense, they had to have somebody pop off. And while we don't want their guy who shoots threes, like DiVincenzo, but he was our lead scorer with 22 because we literally shut down everyone else. And so if you have a guy that you know that only shoots threes and you just need to guard him on the perimeter, really, because if he gets into the paint, we'll still slow him down. That's when, you're able to shut down guys like that. And I just want to say, again, I think this was a really off game for Naz Reid because of how we made it, but he was 3 of 15 and he was 0 of 7 from the 3-point line.
Wow.
And there was a time, I think in the third, where Naz caught the ball wide open for a 3 and shot it. And you were like, you got to get out there. But I was like, he's 0 for 4 right now. I think that they're like, fine, chill.
Yeah, you're right. That was a good call. She was chilling me out. Yeah.
I thought that Naz Reid would pick it up in the second because he doesn't have games like this. So I thought that come the second half, he's going to start get going, which he did score their first field goal for them in the paint. Right. Like, he's going to get going. We can't let that momentum switch. We can't let that happen. And we didn't. Yeah. But it almost gets in your head sometimes when you're a guy who's used to being guarded all over the courts, and then they're saying, fine, shoot it. Then that's also kind of a little bit mentally it's tough when you're realizing, oh, they're just gonna let me have this. Okay, let me shoot it and miss again.
Yeah, so, exactly. Really quickly, and then we'll move on. Ray Floyd said, "Did Duren play soft tonight? I heard Duren struggled tonight against the Reals." No, I don't feel like he played soft. He didn't play that disciplined early. Yeah, his fouls was a screen, moving screen, and he had to sit for a while.
And then the swipe
down. I felt. Go ahead. You said what?
And then the swipe down, but then compare the
swipe down, right?
Like we did earlier, compare it to Gobert. He still got 10 points and 13 rebounds and 5 assists. Gobert, okay, he had 14 points, cool. You got a couple more baskets at the rim in 4 more minutes, and then he had 12 points or 12 rebounds and then 0 assists and 1 block.
Exactly.
So, So I think
nope, you heard wrong. Duren got a bad whistle, had to sit the first half. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And then also just the matchup was a little bit more equal for each other. So
I'm not saying Gobert is worthy of 4 DPOYs, but he's tough. He's a good rim protector. Yeah. He's big, he's long, he's a strong dude. JD's giving up 3 inches size and probably some pounds as well. But I thought despite that, he still played pretty well.
JD is just now starting to earn that respect with his pickup on defense. But if you're on a team and you say JD, I think teams would rather see JD waiting for them at the rim than Gobert right now. Is kind of where I'm at. But that's a respect thing. That's a being a vet thing. That's winning 4 DPOYs. But JD is he's going to keep. Of course, you want to see him body Gobert more. But they did a good job on defense too. They were keeping him out of the paint as well.
They're a good team too.
So,
they're a good defensive team too. 100%. Yeah. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Boss, let's go now to Paul Reed in this game, guys. Paul Reed, guys, finished with 12 points on 4 for 7 shooting, 4 from the free throw line. That's more like it, my dog. 7 boards, 3 assists to only 1 turnover, and 2 stocks, 1 steal and a block, boss, in 17 minutes. That's a lot of work in 17 minutes, but what else is new for Paul Reed? What did you see in this game for B-Ball Paul, boss?
I also want to say 0 fouls after getting into fouling out last game and getting into foul trouble. In 17 minutes.
See this we didn't see this tonight, did we?
I think he had 1 turnover, but he was a little bit like, yeah. But he just completely bounced back. Again, credit that to the assist he got and was able to dunk early in the game. I think that just got him going. He was doing turnaround floaters. He was at the rim, pulling down boards.
Yeah.
He wasn't with Gobert and Reed at times. There was a couple during the live, they were talking about like with Gobert off the floor, I did want to see him attack the basket more, which is, I guess, the only adjustment I would make. But again, they were doing good in the paint. And as our second center, okay, well, Jenkins had 8 rebounds. I just saw that. But he had 7. So he had the 3rd most rebounds. And just like I say, if Cade is leading in assists, I want to see Jenkins second in assists.
Right behind him,
if Duren's leading in rebounds, then I want to see Reed leading in rebounds, or Stu Reed, whoever's coming off the bench. So for him to get 7 rebounds, 3 assists is beautiful as well. The steal and the block, he had a block late that was just so fun. It was like really just on momentum, shifting it our way. He made his free throws. His 1 turnover a game. And then the split was 5 defensive, 2 offensive, which is beautiful. A fantastic bounce back game from B-Ball Paul, who had a bad game 2 games ago, a fine game minus foul trouble last game, but just mentally and physically was in this game. He rocked it. So that was really cool to see. Again, with 12 points, he outscored the only people that scored more than him were DiVincenzo and Gobert on the Wolves. And he's so again, just beautiful. He was fun. He was back to being a more B-ball game, B-ball pace, B-ball style of play. Very aggressive. He dribbled into Gobert a couple of times. Just aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. And Chris here says 2 3 balls. 2 3 balls for Paul Reed. I didn't even peep that he had 2. Did he have 2? Did he have 2? No, he didn't shoot any. He didn't shoot any tonight. Okay. I just double check. Okay.
Maybe he's talking about Wu. Ron, you're a little bit behind. He might be a little bit behind because
yeah. You're right. So Javonte's 2 for 4 from 3.
Usually he comes in with the Mr. I know he's here, so he might just be a little bit behind. We'll get the Mr. What you need coach.
Yeah, I need it, Chris. Yeah, by the time he gets to it, hopefully we're still here. Yeah. But put it on 2.5 speed, but you'll catch up. But for me, I thought Paul Reed was the best read in this game for sure. It wasn't even close.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't even close. I mean, I'm starting to question if he's the better read. Period. The way he's looking this year, man. I mean, he had the Wolves big man frustrated. He had them flustered, guys. Julius Randle and Naz Reid combined to shoot 5 for 28 in this game. I'm gonna say it again. Julius Randle and Naz Reid combined to shoot 5 for 28 in this game. That's like a tour date. That's ridiculous.
That's so true.
He is the perfect build to guard guys like Julius Randle and Naz Reid. 2 guys who are strong, 2 guys who move their feet well, 2 guys who like to play inside and out. He can do all of that. Like, he can move his feet. He's athletic. He's long. He knows how to play good defense. He's the perfect guy to guard a Julius Randle. You're not gonna body him in the post. Yep. And he can get out to Naz Reid on threes. He can move his feet if Naz Reid puts the ball on the floor in the perimeter. Like, he's the perfect guy to guard these guys. So we talked about Javonte Green and how he's all these different looks defensively makes it hard. But Paul Reed in this game was great.
Yep.
He was one of the best players in this game for me, easily. His energy, going after 50-50 balls, attacking the rim with fours, going at Gobert, not afraid at all, getting on the offensive glass, just being who Paul Reed is.
Yep.
Just being who he is, man. I have absolutely no complaints at all or criticism at all for Paul Reed. And I don't have much more to say. Like, that's he just did what he always does. He comes in in limited minutes, gives you a lot of impact. That's Paul Reed. Beautiful. That's all I got. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Boss, let's now go to, we got 2 more guys. It's going to be short. They didn't play a ton, but they played a little bit. Let's go Tolu. Tolu Smith, guys, in this game. He only played 2 minutes. He didn't have a stat in this game.
No.
He had 2 fouls.
2 fouls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 fouls. Didn't give up a breakaway dunk, and they got called for another foul. Not much there. 2 minutes. Not really much to say. Glad he got a chance to get in the court, right?
Yeah.
Anything you got on Tolu?
Hey, he wasn't gonna let him get anything easy. He wasn't gonna let them get anything easy, and that's what I appreciate about him.
Yeah.
He was, jawing with Joe Ingles there a little bit. Joe Ingles was like, "Dude, I'm just trying to close out the game, bro. You don't gotta be pushing me around." And so
yeah, he wasn't playing.
Tolu, and he's someone that I've said we should utilize to help wear down other bigs, and I think he absolutely can. But nothing else to say except he stuck to the attitude, and he takes advantage of his minutes. And today he was just making sure that they didn't get anything, nothing simple. He ripped down that one guy, Behringer, because he was like, "No, you're not gonna get a layup on me."
A flop.
Nope.
Flop.
Yeah.
Flop. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm glad he got a chance to get in the court. I don't really have any analysis. It was late in the game, couldn't get into a rhythm, whatever. 2 minutes is 2 minutes, but glad he got in the court. So we'll leave it there on Tolu. Let's now, boss, go to Chaz Lanier. Chaz. Guys, Chaz Lanier had 2 points on his only shot attempt, and he played 2 minutes, and that's about it. So glad to see another one go in from him. I think last game was his first game in a while. He got one to fall, and he continued that again tonight. So just, slow progression, a little minutes here and there. What you see from Chaz Lanier in this game?
Yeah, he had a couple threes last game, and today he just showed off his other impact. He just dribbled it in and pulled up and got the shot. So I was happy to see him. Always happy to see when our guys can score to take advantage. He did it on live TV, which is fun as well. According, they had Jenkins foul in the last few minutes to get those guys in because they were just like there's no stoppage of play, and so they just take a foul so that we can get these guys into play of it. Which was just cool to see. Always fun. The other guys weren't here, guys, because they're on assignment. And then I think their playoffs start on the 30th or 31st. I cannot remember. So it's either Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, I gotta double check.
The G League playoffs start, and so I'm just curious how that will go. I'm curious if we won't see the G Leaguers for the rest of the regular season. I'm curious if we keep these 2 guys with some limit. Now that Stu's coming back, are we gonna necessarily need Tolu on our bench? Do we keep Chaz just for the extra production?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's gonna be
so I'm
interesting
curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that plays out. Do they play both? Because they can do both for sure. I don't know the rules for G League playoffs, or if you have to have consistent lineups or whatever. I don't know.
I'm not sure either, to be honest. I gotta check on that.
But it was just fun to see him, and I know we'll talk about it a little more later, I think too. But tomorrow is Tennessee versus Michigan in the Final Four, and it's fun because it's fun for me because my stepdad's huge Michigan fan, and my sister goes to Tennessee, about to graduate. So there's that. And then the team dynamics, you got 2 Vols and 2 Wolverines. You got LeVert and Robinson versus Tobias and Chaz. Who are you taking in a 2-on-2?
Between Caris and Dunk and who? Tobias and Chaz?
Yeah, I'm taking Tobias and Chaz.
Ooh. They playing half court? They playing half court?
I don't know. Sure.
If they're playing half court, I'm taking Tobias and Chaz.
Because you got 2 snipers. Each team has snipers. But then what about defense? But if they're playing half court,
they might not get the ball back if they playing half court. They might not get the ball back. Tobias might just go to work.
I love it.
I can see that.
I love it.
If they double, you got Chaz right there. Yeah,
that's true.
Chaz was hooping at Tennessee too, man. He really was ball. If you guys remember Dalton Connect, remember that name? LA Lakers, who drafted him. He was there the year before Chaz. And when they lost him, they didn't skip a beat.
Nope.
Chaz came in and played the exact same role that Dalton Connect played as a sniper, except he played better defense. He's a better defender than Dalton Connect, right? So all day Tobias. Half court, bro. Come on, man. Game over. That's a good question, boss. That's a good question.
I might pose it. I might have to make a little post and post.
Make a poll. There you go. Here we go. I like that one. That's a good. You be coming up with some good polls. So go ahead and work on that, boss.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That's all we got, man. We will leave it there, guys, for this game. So guys, coming up for the Pistons, let's check the schedule out. So they are 3-1 in the last 4, as you guys can see here. Up next, guys, the Pistons face one of the toughest tests of the season when they travel to OKC, Oklahoma City, to do battle with the Thunder on Monday night. Guys, the Thunder are getting healthier too. Jay Williams, who missed a big chunk of this season, he has returned, and he is slowly, boss, returning to form. I think Chet is still day-to-day. I think he's got a hip issue. So it's possible he might play, But with Caden still likely out, they may opt not to play him. But
Well, it
even without him,
depends.
though, it's going to be tough. Go ahead.
They're coming off a back-to-back. Tomorrow they have the Knicks.
Are they? Okay.
Yes. So tomorrow evening the Thunder have the Knicks, and then they have us Monday. So we'll be the second of a back-to-back. They're the first of a back-to-back for us. So I'm going to watch that game because it's later in the day. So I'm excited. I'll watch Tennessee, Michigan, and then I'll watch that game just to see, a little bit of a hate watch, but more so we get to see what the Thunder are looking like, because the Thunder lost to the Celtics, and then they just barely, they went to the Bulls on a fourth quarter comeback, which to me just screams the Bulls still want to tank. So I'm curious to see how the game goes tomorrow. If the Knicks, wear them out, bro. Knicks, wear them out. So if Chet doesn't play, I think he'll play one or the other if he's kind of on a day-to-day. I don't see him playing the second of a back-to-back if he plays tomorrow and he's dealing with this, but he may just rest tomorrow and then play us Monday. They're still 2 games ahead of the Spurs, so it'll be fun. And then we got the Raptors. We got the next 3 games are tough. We also have the Sixers again, which I passed off as a win, but with them healthy, it's going to be a tougher win.
It's going to be interesting just to see how it looks.
Maxey is back as well. Well.
He's our best player.
But the Raptors too, like I said last time, I think the benefit of playing them was that we were unhealthy. There were a couple of people out, but we saw them at full strength. And so
they showed their hand, as you say.
Yeah, so our adjustments should be prevalent. I just want to give a quick update, or I'll let you comment on it too, because I just want to give an update on standings after some of the games tonight.
Okay, real quick.
Yep.
Gotta shout our dog out. Detroit basketball. What up, dog Tom? Yeah, man. Go ahead. Take off on the standings, boss.
Updates on standings. So there's still a couple games going on, but the Hawks won tonight. The Hawks were tied with the Sixers before they pulled off their win. The Hawks are in 6th. They're only 0.5 again above the Sixers. But now the Raptors and Hawks are tied for 5 and 6. So our game against them will be important as well. So 5, 6, and 7, 8. The Magic with the Sixers win tonight. The 8th spot is 1.5 behind the Sixers. So it's still possible they catch up. The Magic do. But if the Sixers keep rolling, I think it's just going to be more of a battle of 5, 6, 7. Knicks and Cavs could possibly switch. The Knicks with their loss fell 1.5 behind the Celtics. So we're 4.5 up against the Celtics. Knicks have the Thunder tomorrow. So who knows? So there's still a good mix. But in terms of play-in, right now it's Sixers in 7th, Magic in 8th, Heat in 9th, and Hornets in 10th. So and they're all within 2 games of each other. Like 10th is the Hornets are 2 games out from 7th. So the Hornets and Heat are tied for 9 and 10. So it's going to be fun. We were just talking about it. We were just talking about it. The first round compared to the West, like the OKC and Spurs are going to just have their way with whoever's in the play-in, honest to God, even though there is the Clippers and the Suns who the OKC has lost to. In a 7-game series, though, I still feel the Thunder and Spurs coming out, just as I see us coming out in a 7-game series. But I just feel like the matchups in the East have been a lot more equal. It's going to be tougher. It's not going to be as easy. Whoever we match up with, they're going to have their strengths. So
all I know is that the Knicks better hope the Charlotte Hornets don't jump to 6. Because what I saw Charlotte do to New York the other night, because New York's 3 right now. So if Charlotte, let me see, Charlotte right now is
they're 2.5 games.
They're 2.5 back of 6, and the Hawks are playing good basketball, so that probably won't happen.
But the Raptors,
but you never know.
Raptors are 5 and 5. They're probably the team right now with the least consistency of where they're sitting. They're kind of lucky to be in 5th. I see them falling before I see the Hawks falling.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
Knicks better hope. Yeah, they better hope, bro. After watching that game, and they look defeated against it. And I was telling you about like when they play, I was like, Hornets going to win that game. They gonna win that game. That's a matchup nightmare for them. Yeah. They just cannot match up with all that shooting that they have. So it's gonna be tough, especially with how LaMelo's playing right now. Like team basketball, like it's looking spooky for the Knicks if that happens. So just want to show y'all that real quick these standings, and y'all can follow along with boss. But it's gonna be fun. It's really bunched together, like you guys are saying. So that's why I like to play in though, boss, because you can't if you're a top seed and you got a Achilles heel team at the bottom, you can't really position yourself to avoid them because you don't know how it's going to play out in the play-in tournament between 7 and 10. You don't know who's going to emerge from that.
And I do want to
Go
say,
ahead.
guys, we're 4.5 up on the Celtics. We have
Yep.
8 games left. We are just a
Yep.
few wins away
Yep.
from securing the spot. A
Yep.
few wins away.
Yeah.
And
Like I was.
we
Yeah.
might
Like I was, yeah.
we might get a loss in those few wins away with we have again OKC, Raptors. The Wolves next time are going to look different. They might be completely fully healthy. It's just going to be a different type of game mostly. But it's talks to the toughest schedule. Okay. But we're just a few the wins mean a lot. Of course, again, if we win out the rest of the season, that's incredible. I don't necessarily see it happening, but the way that we're playing right now, even again, we lost by 1 point in our loss with some things that are very, very fixable. So we're just a couple dubs away, or the Celtics can help us out. I don't know what their schedule looks like coming up, but they could help us out. We're not far away from locking in that first position. We would really have to collapse for those last 2 games of the season to matter, which is exciting because if the faster we lock in the first position, the more rest time our starters get later on, and we can see some of these young guys that we have been excited about, like Chaz, play because we're going to rest our guys. So
exactly. So it's fun times, man. Fun times. Some of you guys think the Cavs are going to catch the Knicks. They're only 2 games back. So especially if they play each other again, I don't know if they do, but if they play each other again, that could really cut that down. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to see, man. But once again, it's just fun for us to be at the top and to be able to just kind of. I think the magic number is like 4.5, like I said, probably less than that at this point. I think it's 4. I think it's 4 with 8 games remaining. So, but yeah, either way, guys, like she said, it would take a collapse for us to not be first. We're gonna finish with the first seed. I said that since for a while now. We're not falling out of that first seed like everybody thinks we're gonna do. So we're in good shape. It's just fun to be on the winning side. What's up?
Ooh, tomorrow, Celtics Hornets.
Ooh, where are they playing at?
They're playing in Charlotte.
I might take Charlotte.
And then Monday, they got a back-to-back too, Celtics Hawks.
Ooh, so yeah, we're not letting go first.
And then Celtics Heat.
So let's go. Wait, so they got the Hornets, Hawks, and then the Heat?
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went 1-2. They'll probably go 2-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go 1-2.
They've got the Hornets twice coming up, and they've got the Knicks also.
Oh yeah. We're not losing first place, bro. It's not happening. Our last game was the Pacers. Like we're not. It's not.
Yeah, the Pacers and the Bucks, I think. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. So, but like I said, back to OKC quickly. Even without earlier this season when we beat them 116 and 124, I think it was still a tough game, even without Shea. I don't think without Shea, without J-Dub, without Chet. None of those guys played, and they still played as tough because of guys like Jared McCain and Isaiah Joe and all those guys they have, and the other J-Dub. They just have a really good team. So it's going to be a tough game either way.
Right.
So the Pistons are going to have to play 48 minutes, like we always say, of defensive-minded ball, man. Try to get out and run as much as you can and execute, and don't shoot yourself in the foot with careless turnovers. They got to play very well to win that game. They can, but it's going to be tough without Cade and without Stu. So we'll see. We got confidence in our guys. We'll see.
Do you think Stu comes back for that, or maybe the game after?
Well, he just got cleared for basketball activities today. So that being 2 days away, I'm gonna say probably not. They're probably gonna ramp him up a little bit sooner since he's been off for about 2.5 weeks, 7 games, right? They're probably gonna rest him and give him a little bit of time. I would say maybe the game after at the earliest.
Is J-Dub playing back-to-backs right now? I'm curious what lineups they run tomorrow, because I think it tells me who they want to play more, and just for fun. Because if they rest some guys tomorrow, that might be active Monday and vice versa. I'll be curious.
It's going to be fun this next week and a half, guys. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. The season's almost over. 8 more games, man. Wow. 8 more games. If the Pistons go 6-2, they will hit 60 wins. So we'll see. 6-2 to hit 60. So, guys, anyway, we're gonna cut it there, guys. We'll go all night. Y'all know how we do. We appreciate, guys, always you for showing up, showing out tonight as you guys always do. We mentioned earlier with the fundraising, the foundation for Stu, all the love you guys show. We really appreciate all you guys with that, man. We got some more stuff coming, so stay tuned for that for sure. But we always appreciate you guys for showing out as you guys always do, man. So make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night, man. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear your shade. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Look the dog palm, mess around, find out, Look the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that.